Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the table. Looks like we're on the table shot here for the first time ever. Nailed it. Welcome back. I'm excited.
Good heads up there.
Are returning. Yeah, I saw it zoom out, and it's like, hey, that's a table. We're back. It's Freaky Friday. We took a week off last week. Steven took a well-earned vacation, and so I was solo streaming. And it's weird. It was actually weird not playing Arkham.
You haven't earned one yet.
I feel like it's become vacation.
Work harder, please.
It's on the schedule. We'll get there. But missing Arkham, it was not playing was sad, and then also not getting to interact with all the familiar names that we've been seeing on chat every week for
That's
17 weeks.
That's all of
you.
you. 17 weeks, one game a day for 17 weeks essentially. I mean, there's been a little bit of. There's been a couple of breaks, but not really.
I mean, Arkham is. We did a whole week of Arkham up front. It's the most streamed game of the isolation period.
We're as educated as we've ever been in our entire lives about games.
About games.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In our 30s.
My lens went from like here to here, and it's hurting my brain.
If we do this till we're 50, we will have unrivaled expertise. What do they say, 600 million hours or something?
10,000?
10,000 hours?
Yeah.
I think we've got 10,000 hours already.
Easily. Of playing games?
All right.
Yeah,
Masters.
Experts. We did it.
Woo.
Yay.
All right, guys, we're on the Essex County today. We're going to the train. There's a lot of signs as to how this one's going to go because the image of the train has giant claw marks in it. The first act says run with an exclamation point.
I was taking a picture this morning to post to social, and I was like, oh, we get to go on the train. It's like the idea of like that. We went to that party in last campaign.
Yeah,
the Carcosa.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, how cool would it be if this was like, have you seen, what's the name of that movie that really wasn't it? Orient Express? Murder on the Orient Express?
Yes, the old one, I've seen both.
I haven't seen the old one.
And then the new one was disappointing.
The new one was not nearly as good as I hoped it would be.
It was not good.
But the idea of like, oh, maybe we're on a fancy train with people, and it's like, there's been a murder, and we have to solve it. And then I put these down, and it's like literally an encounter act one. It's like, run!
I don't think there's been a murder.
There's going to be murders.
Murders are ongoing.
They're in process.
Checking in with chat here. Hello, everybody. I see a lot of great folks here. A lot of people that I've seen many times. I'm just happy you're all here. Zach and I both are. We talk about it often. This is like a community. It feels like we have a store, even though our store is closed. So you're the best, Keith.
I'm going to read this comment from David on Facebook. I think it's fantastic. I love seeing this, and I want to just shout it out. He says, just wanted to say that Team Covenant got me obsessed with Flesh and Blood, and I love it. Your content inspired me to reach out and find a shop near me. I found one that is wonderful and is more than willing to support the game.
Yes,
Thanks,
great.
TC, for being the bridge to such a great community. Shout out to Dungeons and Javas in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
I love Colorado Springs. Oh my gosh, so a lot of the people in Colorado Springs probably we met up with when we went up there for a Netrunner tournament at Petrie's Games. A lot of great people up there. I won't start naming names because then you get in trouble. But a lot of great people.
Matt Dawkins, right?
Matt Dawkins, his wife. Yeah, everybody's just incredible. I saw she posted an awesome thing about Destiny on the Facebook group the other day. They're like still going for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal game. It keeps on giving.
Yeah, so great people in Colorado Springs. I'm glad you found a store, and that's it's easy to kind of frame what we do in a lot of different ways depending on how you want to feel about it. But if we can connect you to a local store that's supporting that game, then that is a success on our end. So
especially
excellent.
when a big part of why we do what we do is just there's so many people, and there's a lot of games that don't receive, if they're not the big three, a lot of support from local game stores or have active communities. So a lot of times that's exactly how we function, which is really acting as a store for people that don't have one. But then to know that that's helping create a community wherever you're at is fantastic. Like I love hearing that.
We'll do a podcast about that soon too. It's on the list, the community without a store kind of thing. So we're going to Essex County. Kev, checking in with you. Good evening from the UK, where it's beer o'clock and time to kick off the weekend by relaxing and watching some Arkham horror being played. Thanks, guys. Much needed. Been a long, hard week. That sounds nice. I'm about to do that after this.
I know. We're still technically. This is
Stare at a wall.
We talk about this often, but playing Arkham on Fridays, and I've heard the scenario goes quick, so I'm relaxed. I'm really.
Maybe we'll play it twice.
Oh, that'd be crazy if we don't like the outcome or we do too well. Anyways, playing Arkham as the last thing that we do in the week has really been incredible because it's just we start the week with Marvel Champions. It's cooperative,
and that's kind of a bang your head against the wall. In a fun way.
We always know we're progressing.
Recreational head banging.
Are you at a concert? What's going on here?
I have done some of that.
Anyways, finishing the week off with everyone here in the chat from Arkham, you guys have just been fantastic. So it really is I feel like I'm starting the weekend early on Fridays now,
Yeah, it does
which
feel
is
nice.
such a privilege to get to do that.
Caleb says, we caught up to you guys last night on Dunwich, friend, fiance, and myself. We're on Essex now, looking forward to which you guys ends up in the void today. So that doesn't bode well for our journey.
Oh, Lord.
What does seal mean? Dan Lane got a good question here. Probably got answered later on in the chat. But whenever you seal a token, you pull it out of the bag and generally put it on the card that seals it. And then if that card goes away, the token goes back in the bag. So it's a way to get tokens out of the bag and increase your odds. KH McClure delved deep on a couple of Mythos boards and tokens yesterday. Can't wait. I love the way you framed that in a very flavorful way. Also want to say thanks for these streams. You've been great personalities, and we have great personalities, and it's been a joy to watch. You guys had great personalities, or you've been great personalities would have been a really funny way to say that.
It was past tense.
But
yeah.
no longer.
Well, hey, I really genuinely
Mike?
appreciate you ordering those. I hope you love them, and that's so critical for us to be able to keep doing everything we're doing, from this content to everything else we're working on. So we really appreciate it.
Mike Rudin in the chat. Always good to see you, Mike.
What up, Mike? Hope you're doing
Hopefully
well.
see you in the flesh again here soon. A lot of good things, man. Woof. Colorado Springs, boom. Yeah, I stay with the Dawkins up there. Zach thinks we've got this one. So let's get it kicked off, shall we? Let's see how we set this one up. Just have a good time with it. Okay.
Just a peaceful train ride.
Join me for a peaceful train ride. Now, we went to the museum last time.
I was going to say.
Yeah, Miskatonic Museum.
So we went to the university.
I took the Necronomicon.
And then we found someone in a closet. I remember that.
Yeah.
Then we went to...
It's like that R. Kelly series.
Then we went to a speakeasy.
Yes.
And then after the speakeasy, we found one of the two people we were trying to find. The other person, well, we don't know what happened to them.
Students died.
And then...
It was a real tragedy.
Then we went to the Miskatonic Museum. Mm-hmm. Got the guard to let us in.
Yep.
And then
we went to... Remember it had all those random rooms that were the same name? And we kind of gamed the system in a way that I'm accepting.
You're okay with it?
And then we found at the last second, it was actually clutch because you had gotten the 2 clues with scene of the crime off of that last location, which allowed you to delve. And then I jumped in and had 2 tests to get 2 clues with my fingerprint kits. Got the clues and immediately advanced to the next.
And we basically
the end.
just had enough actions, barely.
Yeah. Just beat
and
it.
then what made us get on the train?
We're about to find out.
Okay. And before that, just public service announcement, PSA.
Uh-huh.
Is next week the week we're playing on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, so next week we're going to play on Thursday, and we're actually doing the Constellation and the Consternation.
Consternation on the Constellation.
There it
the
is.
Constellation is a big cruise ship, and the Consternation is what we're going to find out about.
So it's part of the Farkham Con?
Farkham Con, every time I say it, I think it's a little bit naughty, but it's not.
Arkham
Far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Farkham Con 2020, Thursday. It's going to start at 11 a.m. Register for that event. It's free. I think you can get a donation. You can donate too. You should. A lot of people spending a lot of their time.
It's like a full weekend of content for
A lot of people
Arkham.
putting this on, a lot of coordination, etc. And so we're going from a train to a cruise ship.
I like our style.
Yeah.
Living the high life.
This is a cool relationship. Just Zoe and Norman just traveling the world.
Old
I
Man
like
Withers.
that. Yeah.
Do you
We can make a movie about that?
Now, if I remember correctly, to do that side scenario, we have to spend 2 experience.
Yes.
So it's worth noting we need to get 2 experience in this scenario.
Okay.
Whatever that looks like.
Well, delve twice. Okay. Got my tickets. Gave him $5. Thank you, Thomas. That's perfect. Shall we, Essex County Express?
Yes.
Recent events in the museum have forced you to reevaluate Armitage's tale about Dunwich. It cannot be a coincidence. Wilbur Whately, the Necronomicon, the creature from Dunwich, and the people and creatures who attacked here in Arkham, everything must be connected. You're certain now where you must head. The lonely and dismal town of Dunwich Village. Speaking of, before we go any further, the new Taylor Swift album. Oh my gosh.
Oh, fire. Straight fire.
Speaking of lonely and dismal.
That's my weekend plan. I'm going to go home. I'm going
Just
to make
on
it,
repeat?
I'm going to make it old-fashioned.
Nice.
And I'm going to put Taylor Swift on.
I wish it were winter.
It would be perfect.
It's a great album for winter. But seriously, incredible. I think it's going to be my favorite.
It's called
for
Folklore,
sure.
right?
Folklore,
Is that the right
yeah,
name?
it's the name. It's in the genre, I lovingly referred to it as moon folk. It's like Low Anthem and Bon Iver and Phosphorescent and those kinds of like spacey, low-key folk type music.
Andrew,
Whatever
there it
folk
is.
music
Taylor
is.
was mentioned. Take a shot.
It is the weekend, right? So anyway, we're considering telling the Massachusetts State Police what we know, but the negative consequences definitely outweigh the potential gain. So given the nature of our story, they would likely write us off as absurd and think it all is a hoax. Worse, they could lock us up. So we don't want to go down that road.
We should have taken pictures with our iPhones.
I mean, after all, you were present. I don't even have my Hawkeye. After all, you were present in an illegal speakeasy, and you also trespassed in the museum, right? So
Yeah, it's not exactly.
kind
I
of
feel like that's a
non-starter.
classic movie setup where it's like they have some important information, but they can't legally do it, so then
Right.
they don't give it, and then a
That's-
bunch of people die. And then
That's
it's
the
fraud.
price of justice. You should talk to Captain America about that. That's why the ends can justify the means sometimes. Instead, you decide to head to Dunwich yourself in order to investigate further. Why not? You pack everything you think you might need and manage to get some rest for the night. In the morning, you head to the train station in Northside and purchase a last-minute express ticket. Dunwich is several hours by train northwest along the Miskatonic River Valley. There's no train station in Dunwich, but you manage to phone one of Armitage's acquaintances in the small village, a man by the name of Zebulon Whately.
He seems fishy.
Yeah, that's what you need. Everything you need to know about the parents of the Whateleys is present in the name Zebulon.
They're like aliens, right? Or something?
I don't know. Yeah, we said it. Mythos CCG kind of gave us. I had to go up on the hill and deal with them, and it was always unsettling. Anyway, Zebulon was present during the event several months ago. So Armitage's notes indicate that the Whately family is spread across many branches, some decadent and unscrupulous, others undecayed or otherwise untouched by nefarious and diabolic rites. According to Armitage, Zebulon's branch of the family lay somewhere between the decayed and undecayed Whateleys. Well, that's unhelpful. I mean, strictly unhelpful. That literally tells us nothing. Who knew the traditions of his ancestors but was not corrupted by them. He agrees to pick you up at the closest station and drive you into town. As the train departs from Arkham, you feel the events of the previous night catching up to you and exhaustion sets in. But before you can safely reach your destination, the train car suddenly rumbles and shakes, startling you out of your reverie. The train loudly skids to a violent halt, and you hear a rattling noise behind you. Set up! The noise is
We
"Set
have
up,
arrived.
set
I
up."
love seeing this. Ewick says, just got my wife's ears to perk up mentioning Taylor Swift like that. It's a great album.
I'm telling you.
Huge fan. We did a podcast episode for people that weren't around where we actually
Very well
did
received.
a review of Taylor Swift's Reputation album. And it was about 50-50, love and hate.
Yeah.
Not in terms of our review, but in terms of people reacting to us taking an episode of the
I will say-
podcast to review it.
Most of the people that would leave a comment about that would be the people that don't like it. But the people that did like it probably just really thought it was nice. You can't listen to the mob too much, you know? Okay, seashells become squiggly lines. So I'm going to get that real quick.
So you need me to do anything
We're doing the
right
return
now?
to... No, we're just hanging out, man. I
And we
can't
were
even
hanging.
describe to you how little of a rush I'm in right now.
All right. Well, I'm just going to chill chat. Ewick says, we saw her live in Seattle.
Nice.
Yeah,
Zach, sorry, live to you.
Yeah, in Chicago. It was fantastic. Reputation was a good jam. So it was supposed to be later this month, this week, is when she was supposed to be doing. I think she got exhausted on her Reputation tour. She did so many shows. Like in Chicago, she sold out so fast. She booked another night the next night, and it was sold out. And it was like
Dang.
120,000 tickets.
Those are productions, too. Those are big
Um,
productions.
She was only doing 2 concerts though for her Lover album. They were like the Lover Fest. One was or 2 in the U.S., 1 in Europe. So it was 3. So instead of doing a bunch of shows, it was just 3 shows.
Way cool.
And then obviously she can't do that because Corona's a thing.
Right.
And then instead, yesterday she was just like, tonight I'm dropping a whole new album. Surprise.
Love it. Yeah.
James asking, where are you 2 out of again? So we're based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you're unfamiliar with the geography of the United States, assuming you're not from the United States, it's in the middle.
It's in the middle. People call it the biggest, what is it, the biggest small town in the country? Or the smallest big town? I don't know. Little big town.
Ewick saying, I'm going to derail the stream with Taylor Swift here, but apparently her mom has cancer, which she needed an open schedule for.
Wow.
I know she wrote a song about that. I thought that
know
was
that.
past, though.
So that's why she didn't it wasn't necessarily, well, she was exhausted for a different reason, I guess.
Yeah. Phil's Master says, I have never listened to a T Swift song, but I feel very informed on her at this point.
Hey, listen to this album, seriously. This folklore album. If I were to be like, hey, you guys want to listen to Taylor Swift? This is the album.
I got a knock at my door.
Listen to the album.
I'll be back.
Is it the big one? Is it the big back door or is it the small door? Uh-oh. You don't need to help with that, do you?
No, you go.
Okay. See, look at how real this situation is. This is like what it's like to be in the office every day. Okay, so I've got all the things. I've got these. and I like to lay them out here. Let's go to the board since you don't have Zach's pretty face here anymore. So I've got these two static from Dunwich more generally, and then I've got 3 other ones that I need to get, and this return to Essex tells me to swap them with these 3. So I've done that. So I've got the little squiggly arrow gene double helix symbol, the resurgent evils pile, and doorways upon doorways, infinite doorways, etc. That's going to be an absolute bummer in a train. Ugh, don't like that at all. Then I'm going to flip this over on the return to Essex and see what it tells me. And I'm going to do accordingly. So it says remove Agenda 1A, a tear in reality. So there's that. I'm trying not to look at the next one. Replace it with the new Agenda 0A, when there's smoke. And the new 1A, a tear in reality. Okay. Version 2. Yeah. 1A, 0 and 1. Oh, wow, we got a 0 now. Give us a little more time, maybe. When choosing 6 train car locations to put into play at random, include the new train car, 2 new in the encounter set for a total of 10 possible. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to make sure that I'm just going to make sure that we have at least one of these. I'm going to put them a little, oh, well, again, the thing in the top corner. That'll make it easy. And then when choosing an engine car, put location to put into play at random, include the new engine car in this encounter set for a total of 4 possible. Again, I'll probably do the new one, just to see what return to is all about. And then remove the remaining, okay, so put one of the 3 engine car locations into play at random. Okay, so you guys think I should just do the new one? Should I just do the new one? Just so we can see what this one is? Or should I randomize them for real? Maybe I'll randomize them. I'm gonna do it at random. Okay, do the new. All right. I got an old one, but I'm gonna definitely do 2 of the new train cars. I think that's more interesting. And then pick 6 of the 8. So I'll do 4 randoms and then 2 of the new ones. Gotta keep it clean, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Wow, cool. I mean, the amount of randomization just in the engine cars and train cars, you could play those a million different ways, you know? Okay, put one of the 3, then put 6 of the 8 train cars into play at random in a straight line to the left of the engine card. Remove the remaining 2. So, you know what I'm going to do for us? I think the best way to do it is I'm going to run it down like this. This makes sense, right? Makes the most sense to me. See if we can get all that on camera. Cool. How cool is this, really, though? Okay, 1, 2, 3, train car. You guys play Sunset Riders? If not, why not? Boom. Looky there. We got ourselves a train. Nice. Very cool. Okay, reveal the leftmost train car. Each investigator begins play in it. It's a freight car. Why are we riding in the freight? Norman, where's your card? There you are. What up?
Yo.
Welcome back. We're in a train. Toot, toot. All right, remove the ring. Reveal the leftmost. Each investigator begins play. If that location has a forced effect that triggers upon entering, ignore it. Ugh. This is a bad one to be in at the beginning. So this says at the end of the round, each investigator in the freight car must test 1 foot. Each investigator who fails must test 1 foot again. If you fail a second time, you're defeated. So that's essentially that you're falling off the train. Norm's got a big old stat of 1.
I'm flexing it too.
So there's no way we're going to get all the clues off of this before we got to roll.
Do we have to get all the clues out to go to the next stage?
No. But I worry that we'll need clues for something. So anyway, I guess we'll start. We'll talk about that once we start.
Yeah, I don't know how this works.
Set all 4 copies of Across Time and Space
I feel like we should do this.
out of play.
Remember little runner tracks?
Marcus
Marcus says, but it tells you to ignore it.
No, ignore the reveal when revealed forced enter effect.
Isn't that the forced?
Listen. Forced effect that triggers upon entering that location. Across time and space. Can you look in that? See if you can find across time and space. Across time and
seems
space.
like a difficult thing to find.
Oh, you do have to empty to move, huh? I'm about to get to that part, probably.
I can't find it.
There's no across time and space in there. Well, where would those be? That was all the train cards that you gave me? Everything with a train on it was in tow? Maybe you think they're in a swap? Huh. Set the engineer story asset out of play. Let's see if we're missing something. Oh, they're weaknesses?
Oh, I saw those earlier. Where were those at? Remember? I was like, there's weakness in this pile.
There's a snake in my boot.
Oh, this. They were at the back of the pile. The
Oh.
other pile.
Oh, right on. Okay.
What do we do with it?
Set them aside. Just set them aside.
Ominous.
Yeah. Let me make sure there's nothing weird in here that I missed too. Man, there's some weird cards in this. Engineer.
It is Arkham.
Set aside. Boom. And
There was a brief period of my time where I wanted to be a conductor.
It'd be cool. It'd be very cool. You get exceedingly traumatized if you ever hit something, though.
My sister-in-law is currently dating a conductor.
Ah.
He's told me some fun stories that I
No,
won't go into here.
I'm sure there's the unavoidable tragedy. Okay, Cross Time and Space, out of play. There's only 2 copies. I don't know why it said 4, but that's fine. We don't have them in our deck, do we? See if you got one. We didn't pick one up or anything. And then, based on our difficulty, add the following chaos tokens to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. Ugh, we're adding a -3.
We got dunked on.
Yeah. Here we go. -3 in.
Matt says, I personally know an engineer. He says it's very boring.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Shuffle the remainder of the encounter decks together to build
This?
the encounter cards. Yeah.
That's a big old deck.
Yeah. Moving on the train from left to right. During the scenario, locations are lined up from left to right with the engine car as the rightmost location. Whenever a card effect refers to the location to the left or the location to the right, it refers to that. Yeah, obviously, use your brain. The end. Okay, that's it. We're ready to get started.
We'll get a good shuffle going.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, plenty of time.
I think the art everyone's talking about is on across space and time. If we want to pop that, people can see it.
Was I reading that wrong the whole time?
What'd you say?
Now remember, I said across time and space. Now remember, so Norman has brought some new, he did a little shuffling. So I've got the Mists of Riley's in here. I added the Time Warps, and I've got the Stargazing. Now, will I have time to gaze at the stars while this train is falling apart?
You never know. Perhaps that's the last thing you'll do.
I'll try to find it. Yeah, into the last stream. So KH, so I'm now currently 2 level 4 Mists of Riley. I've got 2 level 2 Time Warps. And I've got 2 level 1 Stargazing. That's where we are. And we assumed, I had it built a little bit differently, but it just wasn't working. So I just rebuilt it because I really am okay with that. And then for my level 0 splashes, it's a Wither. It's a Quantum Flux. It's 2 Premonition. So 2 Wither, 2 Premonition, and a Quantum Flux. So that I'll be able to at least have a little bit of attacking options, have some great evasion options, have some great clue gathering options, and on we go. So Zach doesn't have to come save me from like a 1 health gnat, right?
Yeah. I think it was last time I added the 3 experience Enchanted Blade. I replaced 1. And then I think I upgraded one of these cards.
You have a Dynamite Blast.
I got an Ever Vigilant.
Nice.
1 experience Ever Vigilant.
Don't forget to start out with that thing. You're going to, first turn, blow it up. So all the train cards say you cannot enter unless all the clues in the location to your left have been discovered.
This goes here? Is that what we said?
It's out of play, basically. So he'll come into play, I'm sure, at some point.
So we have to get 4 clues to move to the next space.
Yes, but we have to pass at least 1 of 2 1-skill foot tests.
If we're in that car.
Yeah.
So if we can get the clues and go to the next location, we don't have to pass that test.
If we can get 4 clues and move, both of us, then yes.
That would seem...
But that's unlikely because you can't move here until all the clues are discovered. I can't move there. So one person could potentially do it. But unless one person can discover all the clues and move.
So it probably makes sense for... We'll see. We'll see what the hands are. Because like, if anybody's going to get stuck, it should probably be me. Because I have a higher stat.
I agree.
All right, I'm going to look at my hand. Oh, yeah.
This is going to be a different game, too. I don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know
Got my
how
weakness, so I get to
standard...
reveal a new card. So I think what I really want, I'll keep the cross because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And I have the this thing, Ever Vigilant.
Yeah. So it'll be free.
Free. Yeah. So good. But I think what I'm looking for actually is my Discover 2 Clues first action card.
Yeah.
Scene of the crime.
I'm probably looking for a shortcut.
So I'm just going to go as deep as I can go because I want either upgrades to use my Ever Vigilant or I want to get clues for free.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Survival Knife.
Nice.
Enchanted Blade, get
man, so
0, 1, 2.
So you basically roll
That's 3 resources.
3 resources in 1 action. You get all of that out. Ugh. Okay. Well,
I'm still doing it.
hope you can pass those tests, man.
So I've got a foot test here. So I can get to a 3.
Okay, that's a good thing to look for, too. Yeah, things that buff your foot stat.
These are going to get shuffled back in.
Preposterous sketches. Mind Over Matter solves my problem, actually. Till the end of the round, I use a 5 instead of a 1 for my foot stat.
Nice, nice.
So that actually solves that problem. Time Warp. How do you mulligan that? The Tooth and Dr. Milan.
Matt Resner saying, I realized yesterday that it's kind of neat your weeks begin and end with co-op. Was that intentional? If not, it worked out well. We've talked about that. It wasn't, honestly, it started out because it was Marvel Monday. And then we were looking at doing Throwback Thursday. And those 2 were taken. And Arkham ended on Friday because I think I jokingly said Freaky Friday once. And then we decided to stick with that day of the week. But then later, reflecting on it, it's like it is really nice that we play co-op at the beginning and end of the week.
Okay. So we're cranking here. I can give you a no stone turned also to search the top 6 for anything, if that would be helpful. So it really seems like I should go first and get, let's see, what should I do? I should probably do Christopher, Clue. Can you get 2 clues and bail?
I can try.
What's your stat?
2.
2 to a 1?
I may as well try to pass the foot test.
I mean, yeah. So I'm going to be trying to pass the foot test with a 5, probably a 6. So I'm going to be fine. Because mind over matter. Science can solve this problem. I've also got miss to contribute to a test, and a no stone.
Yeah,
So,
it does help that you have cards if I'm in the same spot to try to pass that foot test.
I can also time warp a failed investigate, and we can just reverse it and try it again.
Can you time warp a failed foot test?
No, it's got to be an investigator action. All right, top card. Oh my gosh, it's a shortcut. That could revolutionize this game, actually.
So really, you go first. If you can get 2 clues, then I can try to get 2 as my first actions.
Honestly, I think I just abandoned the Christopher plan, and I just get 3 clues.
Then I just need to get 1 and we can shortcut out.
Then you get 1, you move, I shortcut myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Can you can shortcut on my turn, right?
Yes. Fast actions on your. Oh no, it says it on the card. Play only during your turn.
So then I need to go first.
Yeah, you need to get 1 clue.
I can do that. So I think my plan is try to get a clue.
You need to get 2 clues.
I'll try to get 2 clues.
Yeah.
And then if I have an action left, I'll use my drop a card to get them into play. If not, I can wait to play them. But I need to take 2 chances to get these clues going.
And then my turn is get 2 clues, move you for free with shortcut, move me. Yeah.
All right, well, wish me luck, friends.
So you're a 2, and I technically have a no stone and Christopher. This
Now-
may not be the game for Christopher, is the thing. So
Yeah.
I can give you a +1 to each of these tests. 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Where's our card? Where's the Annie key? All right, -X on the skull. Agenda number is currently 0, so skulls are 0s. -1, -2. Do we have gas masks in there? You want to dump the bag? We got time. We have 1 gas mask,
1 gas mask.
1 hood, 1 tablet. Gas mask, hood, tablet.
Nick asking, what's the best way to get into this game? Is it expensive? We actually, at the start of Isolation, got into the game ourselves. That would be a great place to start on those streams. Short version, though, there's about to be Investigator decks that come out. They're going to be fantastic for this. But really, you'll need 1 or 2 core sets, and that's probably the best place to start.
So let's visualize this together, shall we?
Yeah.
So if you're at +2, this is your fail pile, and that's your succeed pile.
I'm at +1 right now.
And if I can give you +1 and then +1, then you're
That's
in
a
good
good shot.
spot. Now we could alternatively, if you had another +1, then all of these are good.
Oh yeah, we didn't read the agenda cards.
So three up is good here.
What's
Real good. Yeah, let's read the agenda. That's important.
Agenda 0A. As the train to Dunwich comes to a jarring stop, you look out the window behind you and see an immense tear in the sky, like a rip in a piece of cloth. From this tear, a winged beast emerges. It lets out a painful screech and descends upon the train. 2 doom and it advances.
Okay. We need to get out of here.
Act 1A. Run! The train is stopped on a bridge high above the Miskatonic River. You might be able to survive the fall, but you don't like your chances. Your best bet is to make your way to the engine car as fast as you can and get the train running again. Objective, if an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance.
Okay.
So we only advance when we get here.
Yeah. So there's currently 18 tokens in the bag. 5 of them fail for you. So these are good tests. You can't hate these tests.
Like if I need to take three chances at a
And
minus...
I've got a time warp too. So
Okay.
you're so safe. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do you have any buffs to? No. You don't do a lot of thinking, do you?
Not a thinker.
Not a lot of
I'm a
clue
fighter.
thinking. All right. So
Alright.
first, let's throw no stone unturned in there.
All right. So I'm currently at a +2.
And I've got the wild icon on no stone unturned. That can contribute to a friends test if you're in the same location. Investigators at the same location contribute up to 1 card to their friends. What do you got?
-1.
All right, it
Get a clue.
passes. One clue, done.
All right. Second action. Try to get a clue.
Throw them on in here.
A lot of pressure. Early.
Yeah, we got to get scoot. That's the bad one.
This is -2. I'm
No,
ahead by 2.
that's a -3.
Oh.
So we're going to time warp this. We're going to pay 1 fast. Play after an investigator at my location finishes resolving an action. Undo that action.
We'll try it again.
So that means the game state returns exactly as it was. So this comes back to my hand, etc.
I'll investigate.
Back in.
Except we'll get a new one.
And then I technically get my money back because we reversed it to before I played Time Warp. Isn't that weird? Time travel is crazy.
Time Warp gets you your money back?
Yeah, because you pay 1, but then you reverse it to before you played Time Warp.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Don't fail.
Don't fail me now.
Yes.
It's a 0.
Nice. Way to go. The new norm build already just paying
Feels
dividends
better.
here. Yeah.
Then I have a sweet card called, it's a 3 experience, stick to the plan. We had a plan coming onto this train. Lets me start with 3 supplies or tactics on it. One of them is called, it's a 1 experience, ever vigilant. So I'll play that, and I get to play from those 3 anytime I want. 1 at a time, play up to 3 assets from my hand, reducing the resource cost of each by 1.
This is the card that makes Guardian right
Let's
here.
get a free Zoe's Cross. Let's get a 1-cost survival knife. And then let's get a 2-cost enchanted blade.
You want that over your beat cop, huh? That's the question for me. I don't know.
I didn't know I could play the beat cop.
Yeah, he's an asset. Isn't that nuts?
Let's go beat cop.
Yeah.
Because I might draw the experience blade, and I'd rather have that in.
Right on.
Beat cop, so I spend an extra resource.
I like the knife too. You're obviously emotionally attached to the knife at this point, which is when I really like the game.
The knife's my jam. That experience, survival knife, is, you don't understand how jammy it's going to get up in here.
Andre, you're correct. That's so funny. When you play Time Warp, technically, yeah, you would put it back in your hand. But I think there's an errata or something on it that explicitly says, like, you still spend the card. It probably says it on the card if I just read it.
All right, Zoe's ready.
All right, so now we just can't fail on one of these.
Don't fail.
Don't fail me now.
Don't fail me now.
All right, hit me with a bag. First, investigate. 5 to 1. 1 down.
Give me the Heisman.
Come on, Norm. Here we go. Look in that freight car. Boom. Another one in. Fast action shortcut to move you there.
For me, let's read the card.
Ooh, working a hunch. That would have been
Train
nice.
car. Train car is connected, etc. No flavor. Boo. Baggage car makes sense. 3 shroud, 3 clues. Baggage car is connected to locations to the left and right of it. Baggage car cannot be investigated. Action, choose and discard a card from your hand. Discover a clue in the baggage car.
3 cards, huh? Bummer.
I have cards in my hand ready to burn.
Cards to burn, huh? Okay,
Looking
and then
for a
last
card
action,
to
I'm
burn.
moving.
Did
Boom. Okay, working a hunch is going to be good. Discover a fast clue.
A fast clue.
I guess in this particular case, it is not good.
Yeah, but
because
it'll be fine.
I'd rather not pay 2 when I could just discard the card. But
Yeah, I'm with you.
the next one will probably be better.
Yeah.
Everything ready?
It's always a good card to have around.
It's going to be a good one. Draw a card, gain a resource.
Hello there.
I feel it. It's faster. You know?
It is faster.
Ooh, quantum flux.
All right.
Useless.
Doom on.
Doom on.
1 of 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big stack of cards though, so maybe we have a second.
Bad cards?
Yeah. You want me to start?
Yeah, sure.
It is Guardian.
I like it when you start, yeah.
Acolyte, spawn any empty location. Forced after Acolyte enters play, place a Doom on it. Does that advance?
No.
Okay.
This is important, and there's a rule that some people will overlook. The Doom only advances whenever it happens in the framework right after you add to the agenda. And unless the card tells you, it doesn't advance otherwise. Did they errata it, Paul? Are you sure they errated it? Cancels the resource refund? I don't think it does. I remember looking at the page, and I think it said that you do get the money back, but you have to pay it, and then you have to have the money to play Time Warp, but then you do get it back.
Okay.
Okay.
Your card.
Then my card, yeah. Idle hands. Put idle hands. It kind of looks like Norm, a younger Norm potentially. If idle hand is in your threat area during your turn, take 2 damage and discard it. You may take an additional action. Forced, at the end of your turn, take 1 horror. So I can continue taking horror over time, or I can discard it, take 2 damage, get an action.
Do you have our campaign log? How many permanent damage do I have?
You know I do. We both have 1 physical.
Let's get the tone.
Let's get down to business. 1 physical for both of us. Okay. Done. Okay. Now we're ready again. That was it.
All right. So you don't have any shortcuts, right? Although being in a space doesn't really matter if we're at this in the end of the round, right?
Seemingly.
Can you imagine having two of the two experienced beat cops in play at the same time?
Yes.
Can you picture that?
I totally can.
That's what we in the business call a bugate.
Do you think I need to evade this turn or this game, right? I don't want to. I can probably discard one card. It's a 4 experience card, which is not ideal.
I can discard 2 cards.
Okay.
So we have the perfect combination of
There we
things. Go. So I feel like I should start, so you can discard a card and you can move and potentially investigate in your next location.
I like it.
All right. So I'll just discard my Enchanted Blade to gain this. Why not? I'll also discard my spare Survival Knife.
I feel like we're going to get hosed by this. I'm going to be sitting there at the end with no cards and like, oh no, now I got to fight. I got to evade some big baddie. And
You can take a punch in once.
I can take a punch.
Don't forget that thing, though.
Well, I think I might just take horror over the course of this game. It should, as long as we keep running, if I take 2 damage here, I'm halfway dead. And I've got 8 sanity, so
Can
like...
any investigator do that at your location?
I think so. I think, isn't there that rule where you can take actions at your location? Fast actions?
Because if I can take it for you, that seems the best case.
You guys let us know out there. I forgot how that works. I know there's a rule about it, but... What's your 3rd action? This is fast anyway, so we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, boy. I'm going to draw a card.
If it's in my 3rd area, yes, you can do it.
I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to take a fast action and take that thing off you.
Ooh.
2 damage? Unless you want it for an extra action.
No,
Does it give me an extra action?
Yes.
Well, hello there. I'm going to draw another card.
Ah, right. Hope it's not your weakness.
It's not.
It looks like, Paul, did you pull up that errata? It says, yeah, you did. Okay, yeah, you do. You still pay the cost. That actually is way cleaner, so I'm glad they did it like that. Okay, so unfortunately, I'll discard. Let's see. Oof. I feel like I'm about to get swarmed. Discard the miss. Grab a clue. 2nd action move. Hope for the best. It's a passenger car. Nothing bad there. After you enter, you must either discard a card with at least 1 wild icon, which I don't have, or take 1 damage and 1 horror.
What was saying that we had to ignore the enter effects?
That was at the beginning. Whatever you start in, it's all randomized.
Got you.
Okay, so fine. I took my damage. Just be aware of that. If you have something with wild in your hand, you can prevent it.
Skyrim saying it doesn't think you can take idle hands off of you. It says it has to be in your threat area.
Is that what it says? It says, put idle hands into play in your threat area. If idle hands is in your threat area during your... Oh, yeah, it does. You're absolutely right.
All right, let's put this back.
Your threat area would be just me.
You get the privilege.
I'm not going to do anything with it. So then we're going to investigate last action.
Nick saying you guys are sold out of the starter investigator deck subscription. Know if you'll be restocking. If we can, nice. If we can, we will, but I'm not necessarily counting on it. If we have any extra, though, we'll be putting them in stock like a standard product once we get closer to release. But anytime you have a game or a product that there's a lot of question marks around when stuff's coming out and how many and supply and stuff, we play pretty conservative because we really don't ever want someone to sign up for a subscription and not be able to get them the product. So we'll definitely be posting and talking about that when that's happening.
I went ahead and played Working a Hunch on the passenger car to get the final clue.
Oh, sweet.
So that way we can just blow right through
Nice,
it.
I like that a lot.
Having to worry about it.
I like this. Franketh says, finally got around to adding reviews for the Mythos tokens and Mythos boards. I highly recommend purchasing
Thanks
them.
for all. I've seen a lot of reviews come in for those products. That's super helpful. The subscription reviews are super helpful too. So if you're using the subscription service, you dig it. A lot of people obviously are leery of like anything that is a subscription up front. So if you want to leave a review on those products, those are super helpful reviews. The custom products and the subs. All right, done.
All right.
At the end of my turn, I take one horror.
Cards and resources.
Everything readies.
Is that first or was Doom first?
Draw one card. Ooh, crack the case. And gain one resource.
Doom on.
Doom on.
Clears.
Advance.
You want to clear this one?
Woo.
Agenda 0. The conductor
Yes, KH.
is on the back. I assume that I go to this, the backside of 0A.
Yep. What's it say?
Beast from beyond the gate. Spawn leftmost location. Here.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter massive forced. When the conductor is defeated, attach it to the current agenda. After you advance the attached agenda, draw the conductor. Forced. When the conductor location leaves play, instead of discarding the conductor, move it one location to the right.
Cool. Okay.
So he has Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
If we destroy him, he gets attached here.
Mm-hmm.
When that leaves play, we draw that card and we attach him to us.
Yep. So he'll basically kind of always be in the game. If we defeat him, it's only temporarily. He'll go out of play, and then he'll come back in at the next advancement of the agenda.
So he's just rough.
Yeah, assuming that actually ever happens. And then we've got a tear in reality. 1A, a force of the gate grows. The force of the gate grows with the presence of the winged beast. Several of the rearmost train cars are pulled backwards, and there's a dreadful metallic crunch as they are detached. The train cars topple upward and into the rift in the sky. Nearby passengers are panicking, others are cowering in their seats, and one elderly man has fainted in fear.
It's terrifying. I'm going to be right back. I got to go.
Yeah. If an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. So we're just running. Run, 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 jump. I could be your backpack while you run. Yeah, Matt, thank you. Thank you so much for leaving a review like that. That's really awesome. James M., yes, we own a store. We have a local store, and we also run an online store as well. So you can order from us online. TeamCovenant.com is the idea there. I can't wait to show you guys the we're connectors. They're in the works. I've got a prototype of that circle and done board somewhere over there. It looks great. You're welcome, James. You're very welcome. I've got this quantum flux. That's not going to do much for me. Mind over matter, I feel like I should hold. What's up, Tim Bunn? How are you? We're on the Essex County today. We're about to draw our encounter cards for the turn. Conductor just came out. Was it 4 health? Massive. 2 damage. 1 mental. I think we can sprint through this, honestly. I wish I could find a fingerprint kit. That would speed me up dramatically. You can almost just one-shot the conductor between the cross and the beat cop damage and the survival knife.
What if I had 2 beat cops?
You actually can with the survival knife play.
So it engages me 1, beat cop for free 2, and then survival knife does 2 if it hits.
Attacks you and you do 2
I'm
back.
built for this.
Yeah.
We were slaying.
Okay, so we advanced the agenda, so now we need to hit the bad cards.
All right. Need for knowledge. Revelation. If I have no clues, I do have clues. Otherwise, test book X, where X equals the number of clues that you have to a maximum of 5. For each point you fail by, you must either take a horror or place one of your clues at your location. Then I couldn't move out of it.
You could, actually. You absolutely could. Because this text is only active when it's undiscovered. You can dump clues here all you want.
So if we were here and this wasn't revealed yet, then that would be a problem.
Yep.
Well, this test doesn't seem to matter. Testing 4 book.
Can you imagine, though, if you're like 1 clue on here and you can't get to the next one?
Testing 4 book to my 2 book. Let's fail by a lot.
I mean, we don't necessarily want to dump clues. They're probably going to be useful at some point.
But I don't have anything to do about it. -1, so I fail by 3.
See ya.
Bye, Felicia.
All right, my bad card here. Broken rails. Each investigator loses 1 action. Everyone with 4 or more damage must also discard an asset. Okay, so I've got 1 less action. I'm just going to remember this for me.
Do I also get 1 less?
I would only at my location, so it's just me. But what I could do is
fortuitous.
discard idle hands, and I'd be back to normal actions. But again, damage. Norm's an old man. I can't take damage, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
What up, British Go-Glow says, what up, Steve and Zach? Tried out my IR decks with my wife, and she enjoyed the gameplay. Eagerly awaiting my starter decks next week.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it?
What up, Tim?
It'll get a hold of you, too. It'll really get a hold of you. Okay, so remember that if you don't have a... you got to discard a wild icon or take damage and horror here.
To enter?
If you have a wild icon, that's great. Otherwise,
Damage and a horror?
Damage and a horror, yeah. I can go ahead and move right to this train car off the bat.
I think you may as well.
You want to just see what's ahead?
You're -1 action, though, so be careful.
First action.
Passenger car. Oh,
After you enter, discard cards with at least 2 total fist icons or take 2 damage. Now, a wild icon cannot count for a fist here, I'm going to guess, yeah?
Surely it can.
Well, this one specifically says wild, though. I want to say it's only, like it's in Champions, like when you're using it in a skill test, it can count for anything. But if it specifically calls on it, it doesn't count, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can, says Cuddly Zombie. Okay, I'm doing it.
Vidic says no. Jeff says it counts. Chris Hodevik says it can. I trust Chris with my life on these rules.
Nathan, Zach can move on, actually, because of the way this is going to work. So I'm going to go and discard both of these.
Okay.
I got a fist and a wild, so that counts. They errated it. Okay, good. Boom. And then second action...
it's got 2 clues on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to keep farming clues.
Yeah.
And then I really need you to start taking the lead because I can't afford to jump into damage like I've been doing.
Yep. Well, this didn't damage you, did it? Oh, I see. The card's kind of.
Yeah, we can still move. So the only thing that keeps you from moving is if it's an unrevealed train car. That one says you cannot enter unless all of the clues have been revealed from the previous one. But once you flip it, that text is no longer active, so you can still move.
And the clues got back on here from need for knowledge. Frank is asking, is there a confirmed release date for the Investigator starter decks? I think it's supposed to be next month. Is the projected timeline at this point?
Okay, here we go. Fail.
What?
Yeah, it's a big 4 shroud. So.
Oh, I thought it was a 1.
Just get ready for that one.
Mine?
That's it, yeah. So that's 2 actions because of broken rails, and it goes away.
Well, I have an answer. There will be an answer. All right,
I would suggest you move twice.
Move here. I'm going to take 1 and 1.
Mm-hmm. Just wrecking us with random damage.
Let's move here, and I'll pay... It's 2 what, damage?
2, you gotta have a total of 2 fist icons in some way.
Or you take 2 damage.
Or you take 2 damage.
I think I was going to pitch a guard dog and a beat cop experienced, but they have health.
You can also just put on the beat cop.
The thing for me is like, if I just take 2 and play like a guard dog, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, you're not even halfway dead at that point.
Let's just take it for now. And then I move. I have an action left.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I also have Scene of the Crime.
Is that Discover 2?
It is my first action.
And does it have to have an enemy?
If to be 2 clues. But I can at least snipe 1 for auto.
Very good.
So I'm going to not spend my money on anything right now.
Okay.
In fact, I'm just going to gain money, so next round I can play Guard Dog and Scene of the Crime. And then I can enter here.
Sounds good. I like it.
It's got to be my first action, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your first action, that's right. Again, in my turn, I'll take a Sanity for Idle Hands.
Uh-oh. Insane in the membrane.
Eventually, we'll just balance it out.
Dumont.
Everything readies. Hunter's Hunt. Draw a card. Gain a resource. See the top card. Ooh, there's that fingerprint kit. That's what
Nailed
we needed.
it. Dumont. Bad card.
Dumont.
Broken rails. Each investigator at your location loses an action. Each investigator at your location with 4 or more damage must also discard an asset. Oh no! I made a miscalculation in taking the damage.
I mean, I don't even know if I don't even know. Survival knife? You got a blade somewhere, right? Waiting on you?
One's over here.
If it were me, I'm looking at this scenario and everything that we're doing is just giving us passive damage. So beat cop is the most important thing you have over there.
I might lose my cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who needs faith when you've got legs?
That's
Start running, Zoe.
like, let's go. All right, we need to lose an action this round. You're back, Greg.
Oh, thanks.
That is what it is.
A grappling horror. This is for you. Now you can't. You would have to. Oh, great! Right when you ditch the cross, it's hilarious. It's got hunter. Now if you, oof. Hey,
Hey, I can get these two for free.
is it if you're engaged with an enemy or if there's an enemy at your
At my
location?
location.
Oh my gosh, that is an
Perfect.
incredibly beneficial drop for us.
Yeah, because I'm
And I've got
basically.
cracked the case if we want to get 4 money split between us.
Yeah. So I'm looking at my turn, and if I go first, I can see into the crime, get the clues. You can crack the case, which would be beautiful, right?
I can't if we need money. Like I don't even know if we need money.
I don't either. So then I can play guard dog. Then I can engage the enemy. I can gain a money from this. I can exhaust to do damage to it. And then literally when that enemy does something to me,
It's going to do 1 damage, 1 sanity.
so I'll take a sanity, but the guard dog will do a free damage, plus I get a knife shot.
Yeah.
So I literally can just nuke him and deal with it and take those clues off. But you'll have to be the one to go here if you want to go.
I think I will go.
So,
I think I'll drop my fingerprint kit and roll.
oh, I'm shy in action.
Yeah.
So no guard dog for me. But that's fine. I can. This is 3 damage.
Yeah, that's 3 damage. Yeah.
All right, first action. Let's play Scene of the Crime. Play as my first action. I discover a clue at my location. 2 instead if there's an enemy at my location.
Oh, isn't that good? That's
second
good.
action, I will engage the grappling horror.
Do we need crack the case on this passenger car? Do you need money? Where's your money situation?
So I get a money from engaging,
Yeah.
and then I'll fast action.
Do we have plenty
Beat
of, well, this would all happen before that. Do we have plenty of money after those clues were discovered?
I mean, I literally am going to play my second ally and have nothing else to spend money on yet.
I feel like the cards are more important in this scenario right now that I'm
Yeah.
seeing than the money.
Yeah, and you have plenty of money. So I
Now,
think
the
we're
next
fine.
one's probably going to say spend 5 resources to discover a clue.
Well,
If I know
them's the beats
Arkham,
sometimes.
You know what I mean?
you have to make that call.
You gotta make the
What's
call.
Norman feel?
I'm not going to crack the case. So first action, we'll play fingerprint kit. Speed me up through the trains. And that cost me 1 less because of Norm's ability.
Old Storm and
Uh-oh,
Norman.
there's a Vengeful Hound. Does this hit me immediately? I can't remember, yeah. After weakness is revealed, draw it. Uh-oh, this changes the plan. Okay. I cannot draw or reveal cards via player card effects. Well, that's just the worst time for that.
So we're just going to have to deal with them.
Yep.
Can you punch him?
No, not in any meaningful way.
Well, I'll knock him out next round.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't leave me a lot to do right now. I guess I should just try to punch him. Ugh. Ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. All right, Hound.
Yeah, if you can punch him, I can just beat cop him down next round.
Well, I get 2 cracks at a 2 versus 2. It doesn't have any of the...
You get 1, right? You lost an action.
Yeah. He won't revenge me. 1 shot. Now, what I could also do is I could take that attack of opportunity and just move on, but in case someone drops clues back down on this location, that would be a real bummer.
You can only take so much damage, though.
I know.
I
I'm
know.
gonna take 1 and 1 anyway.
We got this. We're almost to the front.
Mm-hmm. Fail. Okay.
That's right.
Everybody refreshes. Enemies attack, so I'll take 1 and 1. And then at the end of my turn, because of idle hands, I got to take 1 as well.
I'm going to take 1 and 1. And then I'll respond with my survival knife. So it's +2, plus I get +1 from the beat cop, so I'm at an 8 to a 3
Good test.
for 2 damage.
Very good test.
We know what kills me.
We
What
don't know.
fails me.
We don't even need to think about that, really.
Nailed it. Look at that survival map doing work.
It does do work.
People disrespecting.
Oh, and hunters are going to hunt too.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
Ah! Okay, and then up to the top of the round,
Bad cards,
I'll
right?
draw a card. And I think I can still draw.
We didn't
right?
do bad cards
I
yet.
cannot draw
Oh,
or
we do that
reveal
first, yeah.
cards.
So I draw, though.
Gain of money. Man, Vengeful Hound, get out of here. You're awful.
Bad cards?
Mm-hmm.
Helpless Passenger, Surge, Revelation. Put Helpless Passenger to play at the location to your left. We can parlay with him, take control of him. Forced if Helpless Passenger leaves play, each investigator takes a horror.
We're not going to be helping that passenger. That was Surge.
Helpless Passenger,
Oh my gosh.
Emergent Monstrosity. Spawn the location to your right or your location if there's no location to your right.
Did you advance the agenda?
No.
Oh. Well,
No, I put one on.
did you?
I think I put one doom on.
Are you sure?
Because we cleared it last round, right?
That I don't know. I feel like it had one on it, but I can't remember.
Did we forget the doom?
We didn't. I think we do need to do the Doom.
All right, doom on. Let's do that first.
It literally says also on Vengeful Hound, it says, when it's engaged with you cannot draw, it's saying via player card effects. I thought it was you cannot draw or reveal cards via player card effects. So is that modifying both drawing and revealing cards, I guess? Okay. I guess I'll get to draw.
Agenda 1A, A Terran Reality version 2. So we flip to the back side. Keep moving. The rearmost car of the train detaches and as it is pulled backwards to your horror, it rises off the tracks and is consumed by the gate above you. Remove the leftmost location from the game or place it in the victory pile that has victory X and has no clues on it. Each investigator at that location is defeated. Each enemy and asset at that location is discarded. Discard all clues controlled by the investigators.
All right. Well, that's actually handy. So we can't dump them on our location.
Agenda 2A, the maw widens. The tear grows larger, and you can feel the rearmost car of the train shaking as it is pulled backwards. The situation threatens to erupt into chaos as more passengers realize the danger they're in. Some passengers are looking for places to hide, while others are running about the compartments in terror. 3 doom on this one to advance.
Ugh. Okay, so then you helpless passenger, etc. You still got one to draw in?
Emergent Monstrosity. Location to my right, or location, or my location if there is no location to my right. It enters play exhausted. It's got victory 1 and does 2 and 2.
Mysterious chanting. Place 2 doom on the nearest cultist enemy, of which there is not one. If there are none, search in the discard pile for an enemy and draw it.
Hold on. Let me see that.
We can just drop this cultist at the back of the train,
Yeah, perfect.
and he'll just die.
Yep.
Eventually. I don't know. Speed us up. Actually, should we probably, I don't know, should we leave, if there's more cultists, let's at least see what we've got in the deck here. Because we can search them from discard pile or from the deck themselves. I think they're all acolytes. Wizard of the Order. No, we don't want him sitting around. Okay. So we'll just pull him out. I think leaving the acolytes in here is probably to our benefit. There's some of the more okay things, I guess, that we could draw.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so over to Art's turn. I've got this hound. It's got to go.
So I think I go first. I punch the hound, if I can.
You can. Punch and beat cop the hound.
And beat cop. So then I have 2 actions left. So then I think the next action is, and he's exhausted.
Yeah.
So this is actually really good. The next action is I throw dynamite into that next room
Oof.
for 3 damage.
I like that.
And then I move into it. And I only need 1 more damage. So before he readies and goes,
You can beat cop.
I can beat cop him, right?
Yeah, because he will engage you, but it'll be after his attack phase. So he won't attack you in the beginning of the turn.
Beat cop,
You beat
victory
cop him.
1, let's get out of here.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, nice. Love that dynamite, Zoe. That's what I'm talking about.
I think that's the solution. I mean, it could come in handy later, but I feel like 5 health is so many. He's got 5, so actually the beat cop wouldn't get it done.
Now you could, so you punch hound, beat cop, dynamite move.
But then I just have to do 2 damage that next turn. That's not even hard.
Yeah. You should be able to do it just with a knife, beat cop kind of situation, right?
Yeah. So
And then I can try to sneak by.
let's use my knife attack. So I'm +1/+1, 4. So I'm 6 to 2.
Don't stab me, please.
Poke.
Don't stab me. Oh, even better, dude. Yeah, go with your plan. Go with your plan.
You got something?
I've got, yeah.
-2. So 1 damage. Then I'll beat cop for another damage.
Whee!
You get your
Mr.
ability.
Rook, to my aid, I need your sponge so well. So, hey, I've got a shortcut in hand.
You
So
can toss me in there.
You could dynamite, I could shortcut you, and then you can potentially
From my we're sticking to the plan.
stick to the
Playing
plan.
my
man.
dynamite. Choose either location, your location or connecting location. Deal 3 damage to each enemy and to each investigator at the chosen location. So I'll put 3 on there.
Nicely done. I love that dynamite. You could also just rock these passengers if you wanted.
That would go away eventually by themselves. And then
You want a shortcut?
Can't you only play it on your turn?
No, it's fast. Yes, you're right.
I've played these cards, so I remember these restrictions sometimes.
So read the card? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, cool.
I'll end up
cool,
shortcutting
cool,
myself
cool.
then.
All right, I'm going to move into the train car.
Okay. What's it say?
Passenger car. They're all passenger cars. Passenger car connected to location left and right. Forced, after you enter passenger car, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 books or take 2 horror. Let's see if I have 2 books. Wouldn't you know it? Look at this. Evidence, 2 books.
Wow.
So I don't take 2 horror.
Evidence would have been great next turn, unfortunately.
Okay. I have 1 goal, and it's to murder this emergent monstrosity. We got to get 2 victory. We can't constellate in the consternate.
You said it, man. Okay, so I need to play Mr. Rook, shortcut myself in, fingerprint kit. So I've got 1 spare action, and I really can't take this 2 horror. Okay, so first action, let's play Mr. Rook.
Yeah, if you have a rook out, that's helpful.
I just got to soak with him.
Do you still flip the next card?
Yes, I can't play it, but I can at least see what it is. Okay, that's Warren, and in fact, so my second action is probably draw, shortcut into the next thing. Third action is fingerprint kit, so I can discard him with book, wild, to not take the 2 horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get 2 clues off of the main, and then at the start of the turn, get 2, move to the next car.
Yeah.
Okay, so second action, draw, Warren Rice. Then play shortcut to move for free, and discard Rice to not take the damage.
Yep, look at that. Look at the efficiency.
The efficiency, and then fingerprint kit.
Give me
Investigating at a
them
6
clues.
to a 3.
We were swinging.
Okay.
What's your superstar do?
So we can do plus X, swap the top card in my deck with a card in my hand. X is the resource cost of the top card of my deck. So I could put like a 4 on top and get a +4, but it's really a way to swap. But since I've already played the top card, which was Mr. Rook, not quite as relevant. So I'm just going to pass the test. Gain 2, but I like seeing that star.
And you idled handings? Ooh, you could idle hand for another fingerprint kit.
No, it's exhausted.
Yeah.
It only uses it once. So I'm probably just going to take 1 horror on Mr. Rook for the idle
nice.
hands. But
I see.
so what I could do here is I could put, with that superstar, I could do one of these. Put crack the case on top, but then I'm just going to draw it anyway. So it essentially is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Now for a fast action at the end here, I could search the top 3 and just get a free card draw. Cards are really important in this scenario, it seems.
Yeah.
If I hit a weakness, it's pretty bad.
I don't like pretty bad. Do we need?
But there's only one other weakness in here.
Well, how does old Storm and Norman feel?
How does Norman feel? I'm gonna hold fast.
All right.
I'm gonna hold fast.
End of round.
So we're both exhausted. End of round. Hunters hunt. Any enemies that are going to attack wood, then everything readies. Emergent monstrosity engages someone at the location, and it's going to
gain
be
a
you,
buck.
I reckon.
Yep.
Then we each draw a card and gain a resource. Ooh, working a hunch is a good card.
Dude, I just Bugatti'd this.
Did you just Bugatti scene of the crime
I got another
again?
scene of the
Oh
crime,
my
dude.
gosh. It's a freaking miracle. We're built for this train.
We built this train.
We
Put
built
a doom
this
on.
train. Yeah, put a doom on, grab a bad
Bad card.
card.
Grappling horror, hunter. While engaged with you.
Oh, now you get to see
I
if
can't
Zoe's
move.
got the goods.
So I get
or
another
not.
one, right?
Yeah.
Another money.
You do. Doesn't say once per turn right now.
No. What's your card?
Well, that's a good question. Helpless passenger.
Fine.
Claws of Steam. Test 3 brain. If I fail, take 2 damage, and I cannot move this round. Damage must be assigned to my assets first, if able. So this is where I have a fast action window before the test, and I'm tempted to use Mr. Rook in case he does end up going away.
Would.
I'm doing it.
Well.
Mr. Rook, search the
Okay.
top 3. Yay! I'm going to take this working a hunch because I feel like it's a really important card in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 2 will get shuffled in. And draw, shuffle your deck.
I'm just going to give us some space. Old Storm and Norman.
He's very determined to get through this train, man. All right, so Claws of Steam test. We've got 3 brain to 4 brain. It will kill Mr. Rook if it happens. I'm going to go 5 brain to 3. So I'm up 2, which is about 65-70%.
I've had worse odds.
I've had worse odds as well. I guess I get to see what this is. Ooh, that's actually exceedingly relevant.
What is it?
Before I commit this card, Premonition. So it gets added to the top. So I use Mr. Rook. This is at the top of the round in the Mythos phase. So I could play this from the top of my deck as a fast action to see what token I'm going to draw and then make decisions based on that.
When does your play at the start of, or your play from top of deck restart?
Oh, I was supposed to take one here for... So all the bad stuff happens at the beginning of the round, is what you need to know. You can do that once per round.
So the start of a round is when the bad stuff's happening.
Right.
I always thought that was the end of the round.
Right.
Because the first thing you do is start your investigation.
Everything in the world tells you it's the end of the round, but that is not how the game is built. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so do I take this premonition just to see? What would it influence? At best, it saves me 1 card. So I think I'm going to hold it until there's a test that matters.
Okay.
So here we go. +2.
-3?
-2.
Oh, I thought it was the mask.
See, perfect. I didn't need premonition. I've got my gut. Claws of Steam, dead.
Bob was saying, I know this isn't a Skytier stream, but any word on when the new stuff will ship? Apparently, there's been some delays. We're waiting for official word from PvP, but ultimately, I think those are just delayed a little bit, so they're not available anywhere. Something on the logistics
customs or
side.
something. So it looks like it's probably a week or 2 away from its standard release date.
One thing you can count on is we'll always keep you in the loop once we have actual information, and then we'll always get it to you as soon as it's possible to get it to you.
Okay. Well, we've resolved all the bad stuff. Now we get to take our turns.
Okay.
So what does your turn look like?
So first action, grab 2 clues. Second action, punch this monster. If I hit, use the beat cop to kill it. If I don't hit, try to hit again. Ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
So I get 2 punches.
here's another piece of this. So you could also do this. You could do knife the monstrosity, move. I can get these 2 clues with the fingerprint kit because I really don't necessarily want the conductor to drop on you next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you knife, move, so I would start fingerprint kit, move. You knife, move, take 1 and 1, kill the beat cop, but you save a sanity technically because you can do 1 and 1 to the beat cop.
That's fair.
And then you take a survival knife for 2 at the end of the turn, and then you come back up the top of the round and stab again for 1.
Yeah, I like that. If you think you can get the clues,
I'll
you go first.
I'll at least try.
You go first.
I can definitely try. What would you say is the most important test this round?
I can't move.
Oh, because of that thing?
Well, it's engaging me. I can't move.
Mm-hmm. That changes things, huh?
I could technically try to take him off the board.
Stab, beat cop, move, and then
But
take
then
2 and 2.
double.
Ooh.
Not good. And you can't move till the clues are gone. Well, you would get the clues though.
Yeah. Scene of the crime's no attack of opportunity, right?
Right. Yep.
Mr. Riley would be great here. Thanks a lot. Any amount of money that would change the game for you right now?
I mean, I think I have to punch my way through this, right? I think that's where I'm at.
You think you're just on punch duty now? At least the emergent monstrosity is 2 for this. Well, you got to get him off the board. That's too much damage.
I literally think it's punch, or stab. Because then if I hit the survival knife against this, it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And I can put 1 of the sanity here, and I can actually save the beat cop for the free damage. And
just
then
keep in mind, conductor will be moving and attacking you.
yeah, so then I can soak 1 and 1 on the beat cop at that point.
Yeah.
But these would be clear, and it would be me versus the conductor, which I'm okay with that matchup.
Yeah. Relevant. Okay. So then my plan is get the 2 clues and run to the next train car. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and play this premonition to see what the next draw is going to be, and that will impact whether it's you doing a thing or
If
me
you hit a
doing
superstar, that'd be legit. That would be
good to know,
It
right?
would be too legit to quit.
Okay. Next is a -2. So why don't you let me get those clues, roll into the next location, and call it a day.
Okay.
And then good luck.
We'll see what happens.
Good luck. All right, so fingerprint kit,
Bye, Zoe.
-2. Got him. Second action
You're kind of on your own at the rest of this. I'm just going to deal with the enemies.
here. I get to see what this is too.
What is it?
Well, I might draw that because it's a wild, and we've had a lot of things that make you want to have a specific.
I think you got the time.
Yeah, let's do it. Second action, draw. Ooh, there's that stargazing. Very nice. Third action, let's move. Spend 3 users to discover the clues here.
This is parlor car.
Parlor car. Lisa needs braces. Okay, cool. So you've got 3. I'll have 3 next turn. We'll be okay. And that's me.
Mine?
Yeah, good luck.
We're going to try to stab this monstrosity. It's a 6 to a 4. Let's make it a 7 to a 4. Let's get ahead by 3. Oh, it's a -4.
Devastating. Well, this is a problem now.
Let's punch again. It's fine.
You got to punch and beat cop, right?
No, I still have 2 punches. And I can finish him off next round.
Okay.
Let's punch at a 7 again.
This one hits.
Got it.
Wow. Boy, you're you're just getting it.
And
Oh,
then we'll punch it a
man.
7 again.
Oh my gosh, with the beat cop?
Just got to be done.
You're gonna need that beat cop now.
I have other things in my hand.
Right. Got the doggy.
The dogu.
Doggo.
Good boy. Oh, the auto fail.
You probably beat copping, huh?
Yeah, because it saves me 4.
Yeah.
So we'll beat cop. Get rid of the monstrosity.
It's not about everything going right. It's about adjusting when things go wrong, you know?
Here we are.
And here we are.
End of round.
Ugh. All right, so enemies hunt. You get some money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's massive technically, so it doesn't even engage you. I don't think you get that money. Massive. Well, massive things are considered engaged with everything. Do you remember that ruling? Does Zoe get money from massive?
I have no idea.
It doesn't technically engage an investigator, but it is engaged with everything at that location.
Yeah.
I would say no. It doesn't. There's not like a. Oh, I didn't. Thank you, team. Team kill Norm. Appreciate that. Rook's about to go, by the way.
All right. This flips to 2.
Did you take all your damage?
Oh no, not yet. So it's 2, 3 physical.
Mm-hmm.
1 away.
Mm.
And then 2 sanity. 2 away.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a resign button?
Well, maybe we
JK.
can find one on the
JK.
engine car. I mean, that's our best out, right?
We get bad cards, right? Or draw a card, gain a resource.
Draw a card.
Hope for a miracle.
Gain
Okay.
a resource.
And then now we get the bad card.
Yeah.
Emergent monstrosity. Spawn the location to your right or your location if there is no location to your right.
That goes to me, huh?
Yep. And it's play exhausted.
Okay.
You got to get the clues and go.
Okay. So I need money. More than anything, I need money. I knew there was going to be one that did that. Oh, I've got working hunch. Okay, so we'll be fine. Can't be investigated. That's fine. All right, my bad card. Did you put one on here?
No.
You didn't. Yeah. A baleful welcome.
Oh, it advances actually.
Mm-hmm.
The maw widens. Don't stop. Agenda 2B. The next train car is ripped backwards with violent force. A middle-aged man hangs from his fingertips as the car flies unhindered toward the rift. In moments, the car is consumed whole, and the man lets go rather than be pulled into the void. He starts to fall, but is caught by the rift's force and pulled inside anyway. Remove the leftmost location from the game. If it has victory, put it in victory. Each investigator at that location is defeated. Each enemy and asset at that location is discarded. Discard all clues.
Help. Okay.
Rolling backwards, the pull of the rift in the sky seems to grow stronger, and the entire train begins to roll backwards along the tracks. The rearmost cars of the train begin to rattle, the force of the rift threatening to detach them. You must get out of these cars as fast as you can.
All right, so if we hit 4 doom, these guys are gone, and that's a sanity bomb that essentially explodes on us.
Yep. So, clues go to the final space.
Yeah. So first of all, you got to draw the emergent horror again. He comes in exhausted. And then I draw my bad card. Baleful welcome. Remainder of the round, each from control before each starts an action. This is not the first card. Not the second. Choose 2 of this action instead. Okay. We have a problem. Let's talk through your turn for a second before I choose what I'm going to do here.
I die.
There's really no out, is there?
I can technically try to evade them both and move. If I get a +1 against the big guy. And I hit a 0 on this thing.
Not good. You have how much, Sandy? 6? 6 at 4 of 6 here?
Yeah.
No amount of playing a guard dog is going to fix that problem, is it?
No. Guard, I would immediately get eaten alive by the damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And your foot stat is 2, so that's not ideal.
I mean, can you get in that engine car and advance us to the next stage?
I can get in the engine car, I believe, yes. I can get in the engine car.
Grab the clues and go.
Okay. So.
Oh, you have peril, right?
Yeah, I can't let you help me with this decision, but I can at least understand what we're trying to do.
What you can tell me what it is. I won't tell you my opinion.
A baleful welcome. Choose two of the following actions: investigate, fight, evade, move, or play. For the remainder of the round, each investigator cannot perform those actions.
Whatever you need to be able to get the clues and move.
I need to be able to play, and I need to be able to move. Because I'm not investigating this location. I can't investigate it anyway. So that leaves fight and evade. Basically, I'm gonna take out. I'm gonna take out investigate, and I'm gonna take out fight. Let me make sure that there's nothing. I mean, there's really no fighting that saves you. Well, there's no fighting that saves you. All right. You can't fight. Can't do it anyway.
I can't fight.
Can't fight.
We're running.
You can't fight.
Go ahead. You're first.
All right. So, pay 3. Oh, no, wait.
Oh, wait. Hold on. There's hope yet. I get a survival knife. So I could do 2 damage to something.
Is that after the damage, though, hey?
It's when I take the damage, the last spurt of damage. This last round, I didn't use my survival knife.
Oh. Yeah, you should do
So
that.
then I can do 2.
Okay, hold on. That might change things.
May as well go for the big bad, right?
That might change the baleful idea, too.
Yeah, because I can possibly run from this thing.
I don't know if I can get in that engine car because of the money problem. I've already got all my shortcuts are gone.
I will survival knife on the conductor. So I'm a 6 to his 3. Ahead by 3.
So you're going to try to take out the conductor.
Yeah.
Okay. There's hope yet.
Got it. 2 damage.
Okay.
So
So now baleful gets different. I'm going to choose evade instead of fight. I think you're in a slapping mood.
So, tell me this. If I play a guard dog, can I take the attack of opportunity? Is he in play when I'm taking that?
No, I don't think
Or
so.
does it happen before or after I play it?
I think it happens. I think the attack of opportunity happens, and then the asset is actually in play.
So fighting won't matter anyway.
We should get clarification on that, though. Technically, kill that last turn and the agenda advances.
I didn't kill it.
Conductor returns when the agenda advances. Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff. Yeah, so all that happens before. So basically, if we rewind it, you do 2 to the conductor.
So
What do you have? You have 6 sanity?
Is-
The sanity
it
is
would
the
have to be
problem.
fight, fight, evade this thing to not go crazy.
All right. Well, if that's the case, fight, fight, evade. We need to do all these things.
How many do you have to get rid of?
I mean, what?
How many actions do you have to get rid of?
Oh, technically. So I need move and play. I don't need investigate for us to advance this. Which means I'm going to take out either your fight or your evade, and it's going to be... Let me see if I can discern. I can't technically talk to you about that. See if I can discern any possible way that you could live through this. I mean, there is a way. It involves backwards progress instead of forwards progress.
Do you leave me to my fate, or do you come help me? You know exactly what you got to do.
Now, engage doesn't take an attack of opportunity, right?
Nope.
I think all things that I've read tell me that's the case. Being in there for that time warp is going to be relevant for you, too. And, I mean, I may as well take a crack at evading that grappling horror. I mean, why wouldn't I? Okay. All right. Let's think for a second.
This is the real Arkham right here.
Real Arkham horror. So let's say this is successful. And then he goes up. And then when we advance that in 4, he'll come back here. If that happens, it's over anyway.
Yeah.
So we have 4 turns at our best. Probably more like 3 because Acolyte comes out.
I'll let you keep going.
Engage does trigger an attack of opportunity.
If you're already engaged.
Oh, right, but massive, I would be already engaged. So you'd have to go first. Slap, slap, slap. Then Norm would have to run, engage off of you. Take 2.
Which is actually kind of brilliant because then next round I can play my dog, re-engage, gain a money, and then take him out quick.
So, okay, so I'm going to choose investigate and evade. None of those things are going to matter. Do I need to move? Yes. Do I need to play? Yes. I do. And then do I need to hunch? Yes. Okay. So these are all things that are good. All right. So I think that's right. I don't need to investigate.
What's the card again?
A baleful welcome. I need to move. I feel like playing is important. I want to be able to do that. So yeah, so we can't investigate and we can't evade.
Noted.
Noted. So then why don't you go first? Because you got to. It's the only way this works.
Yeah. All right, let's punch the big guy. I'm at 5. I just need 2 of these 3 to hit. 5 to 3. Give me the superstar.
Superstar, here we go.
Cthulhu, if you exist, now is the time.
Now, another thing, another option, it won't matter because I already called evade, but we do have another option where I've got another miss in here somewhere, and that's an evade thing. So I could roll in, and then at the start of next turn, I could, like, if I find it with Mr. Rook, I could play it, move, and then all of a sudden I can actually just evade these things.
I think this is getting rid of that hunter.
Yeah, I mean, stab. Definitely stab.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
-3, so that one misses.
Okay. It's fine, right? It's not a problem.
I mean, not yet. It's about to be.
You tend to give that nice time if you're ready to.
Yeah. All right, let's try it again. Need a -2 or better.
Okay.
It's a 0. We're down to it. So I could contribute my doggo to make it a -3 or better. Because if I miss, I die.
That's right. I could also dig for a premonition, and we could try to find it and actually see what the next token's going to be. I don't know what my weakness is that's left in here. I don't know how bad it is. We put it in on some previous scenario.
Let me see my odds. Oh.
It's like a 65-ish, I think.
All right, this is a -2. -2s are fine. These are all fine. Bad, fine. bad, bad, bad.
And the
What's
gas
the
mask
head?
is bad.
All
There's
right.
5 bad tokens out of 18.
And then a 3 makes it. Oh, that's so much better.
I know, it's so much better.
The doggo's gone
But
now.
can you even survive, you know? Because then this is the next thing, right? So even if all of this happens to work out, how do you possibly solve this problem?
It's a good question.
Me too, because like I'm gonna have to. That's where miss is like the only way this can possibly work.
You're just gonna have to evade it.
Yeah, but I don't even have the miss yet.
Can you check on that on my turn?
I can check it right now.
Do you want to go ahead and check?
Yes, but if I hit a weakness, I have to draw it.
You want to check at the end of your turn?
I think I'd have to play it. I'd have to play it now. What'd you guys say? Behind 4 horror? What are you talking about? I did it. I got Mr. Rook last time, and I got one here. I've been on that idle hands. I guarantee I'm not behind 4. Behind 0. We got ourselves a bit of a puzzle here.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple options are like, I can Mr. Rook, try to find Premonition, play Premonition, so that you know what the next token drop's going to be.
If you get Premonition or Miss, that is very useful information for us, right?
Yeah.
Because if you get Miss, I don't need my doggo.
Mm-hmm. Now, if I draw the weakness, again, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it does. We put it in, I think, last scenario, and I didn't even read it. So that could make this unwinnable. Completely unwinnable, depending on what that ultimately is. If I get miss, pay 2 to play it, roll into the passenger car, engage grappling horror, take 2, Mr. Rook goes away.
Yeah, the next round would be evade this guy, move, evade this guy.
Yeah.
Let me slide.
We still got to get those clues, unfortunately.
Which I can get one of them.
You got one of them, and I've got working a hunch. So I would have, let's see, if I play miss, that's 2. I would roll in and have 2 for working a hunch as well. Boy, this is interesting. So then, I don't think miss, do you exhaust miss to use it? Can I use it multiple times in a turn, or is it once per turn? This is going to go horribly. There's no world in which this is gonna go well, but you know, I need to know what that weakness is too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Or even if I don't see miss, I get a reshuffle and a new card on top. Okay, so you can use it multiple times. That's nice. Okay, let's go ahead and use this fast action.
Rook.
I'm gonna Rook.
Because basically,
I'm gonna draw 9.
9.
Yeah.
Wow, you're going for it.
So we did see the weakness. Let's see what that does. They did see miss as well. Put it into play. Investigators at my location fail ties during skill tests. That's not terrible. All right, actually. So I've got to have that, and then I can get miss. Necronomcon's good here, actually, but I just don't have the time for it. Okay, so I will also get miss.
So now the plan is I'm going to go ham on this monster. Hopefully take it out.
You got to kill this now. I could flip Premonition Notice to the top norm card, too. And then we would have the best of both
That would
worlds.
be the Bugats.
That would be incredible.
Just waiting.
It's going to happen.
We
dude.
were waiting.
It's going to happen. Okay. Mind over matter. Now that's an interesting play too.
What's it do?
That pumps my evade and my fight to 5. So there's even a world where if you fail on this last hit,
You move, punch,
I
engage.
can move, punch, engage, and just do Storm and Norman. for
Storm
real.
and Norman. All right, here we go. I'm going to commit the doggo.
All right.
He was a good boy. I'm ahead by 3. 2 tokens that get me. We all know what they are.
-1.
And we were swinging. Attaches.
Okay. You got 1 action left, huh?
No, that was I missed the first time, and then I punch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
David, we're not pretending anything. This emergent monstrosity is exhausted. Technically, it would look like this to you guys.
Yeah, we're playing in the next turn. We're seeing 1,000 futures all at once. So, see, I would do miss, move, engage, take 1 and 1. Yeah. Because then I've got to now, yeah. That's so annoying.
Because it's ultimately miss, move, engage, and then use the miss to evade, move, grab a clue.
Mm-hmm.
Or move, evade.
So I've actually got, yeah, so I'll be doing next turn, so we'll be set up like this. And so the next turn, it'll have to be me move, it engages me evade, me fast action, gain a clue for working the hunch. Then you roll in, gain a clue for 3 resources, move to the engine card, advance the act. That's the best moves that we have, right?
Yeah, so repeat that real quick. So if you're here engaged, you...
Evade the thing,
Yep.
move, evade the thing, fast action, clue. Then you move,
Clue,
move.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We're riding.
Now, there's a whole lot of encounter cards between us and that plan.
Yeah, it's fine. You just got to play to your outs, you know?
Oh, man. Okay. Okay. So...
Don't forget about that entry ability.
Oh, if miss hits a symbol, I can move to a connecting location. After
So you could
I
evade and bounce in. Don't forget about that little gem.
Yeah, I got plenty of those. All right, well let's kick it off. Now, hold on a second.
LaRuca, never surrender.
It might be to my benefit to go ahead and ditch idle hands
To get an action.
to kill Mr. Rook and gain an action. Then I've got 4. So then I can potentially do boom, boom, move, engage. Well, you got to do that. Okay, I'm going to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do, discard idle hands, take 2 damage, and I'm also going to be just right on the edge of death.
That's where we're at.
And gain an action. So I've currently got 4 actions. So I'm going to play miss as my first action.
This is Mr. Riley. Can I see this?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you get a move even if you don't hit a symbol. If you succeed after evading the chosen enemy, you may move to a connecting location. If a symbol was revealed, that's when you choose and discard a card from your hand.
Oh,
So
I
you
always
literally
get
can
the
evade, move, and still have an action left.
Yeah. No, I can't evade this turn.
Yeah, I'm
Don't-
saying
don't sleep on that,
Next
but-
round, it's like you could actually
Hop-
evade the move, get the
Hop,
free clue,
skip, and a
evade the
miss.
move. Yeah.
Yes, that is 100%. Second action is time for stargazing.
What up, Taylor says, any news on that TC Discord? We're working on it. Just considering a lot of stuff before we dive in. Take some time. What are you stargazing for?
Because I got the action.
What's it do?
It puts a good card
into
the encounter deck.
Yeah. Give me the goods.
Also, there's never been a more thematic time to stargaze.
That's right.
Right this second. Wait a minute. I see my fate up there.
It's like when Zoe and Norman finally get back together. He's like, "You'll never believe what I saw." Take some time.
Little bit of left to run.
I just can't believe I'm alive.
You are alive.
That's survival knife, by the way,
There's usually a way.
until there really isn't.
Okay. We gotta literally just like pray over these cards, because if one of us hits that stargazing, it's very good.
Next
very
love.
good for us.
You got to give yourself the chance.
You know, that's what I'm saying. You gotta get torps in the water, as we say. Action here: discard 2, crack the case, and no stone. No stone was close to being very useful there. And then last action: engage.
You've done a great service.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Baleful goes away. Then I do a attack, take 1, 7 of 8. Then everything readies, including this here monster.
This here.
Yep. And then draw a card.
You'll never believe the top card I just pulled.
Ooh, Dr. Milan would buy me some sanity, so. Is it a weakness?
Nope.
Good. Gain of money.
We'll see how far we want to dig, you know what I mean?
Doom on.
All right. Back cards?
Yep.
Haunting Recollections. For each card in your hand, if there's a copy of that card in your discard pile, take a horror to a maximum of 3. If you take no horror from this effect, discard top 3 cards from your deck.
Wait, hold on. What'd you say about that?
Haunting Recollections. For each card in my hand, if there's a copy of that card in my discard pile.
Okay, so somebody's saying you shuffle it into the top 10. So yeah, it should be 1 out of 11, right? You take the top 10, you shuffle it in, so now you have 11 cards. That's right.
There is 1 copy of a card in my discard pile, so I take a horror.
That's it?
That's it.
Boy, we are...
I'm on the edge.
We're on, yeah, we're on the...
No stargazing, I presume.
Is this... This isn't here.
This isn't here. Dumon?
I've got a tough choice to make. It's Peril. Resurgent Evils is the card. How lucky do you feel about stargazing? We would have gone through 4 out of 11 cards. That's about a 40% chance at that point.
2, right?
Well, I would potentially draw more.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I think I've got to play it cool. All right, let's put 1 Doom on the agenda. Otherwise, I could draw the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. That could go very well or very poorly.
That is true.
Where I come from.
Where I come from.
Okay, and so then that potentially buys us, we got 1 more turn until you either have to put something down to soak this 2 sanity.
Same with you, right?
Yeah, or not. Okay, so now we go to the plan, right? Let's stick to the plan.
Get to the chopper.
Okay.
Evade and move, man.
Spend 1 charge.
Now, wait a second.
Okay. It has 5 charges also.
Because technically, if you evade and move for free,
Mm-hmm.
get a free clue, you can't get the other clue off before you evade the other guy.
That's right. But if you move now, that thing will engage you, and I don't see any out on that.
Yeah,
Unless you have
that's
an
fine.
evade all
See,
monsters
you're,
card.
You're basically going to move, engage, get your free clue, evade him, do whatever you want. And then I'm going to move in and move. And then your next round, you have to evade him again, which is fine.
Yep.
But you have the tokens.
And this guy won't hunt because he'll be exhausted. Yep.
All right.
Okay, well, you give it your best shot here. 1 charge from miss, evade at +3 brain. So I'm currently a 7 to its 2. We don't talk about what that means. Done.
He's exhausted.
He's exhausted.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just, I don't know, what do we do with him?
Just turn him sideways. We know.
Okay.
And you get a move.
And I get a free move that immediately engages me. Make sure there's not anything weird going on here. All right, second action, let's try to engage this emergent monstrosity. Same, second verse, same as the first.
-X, current agenda.
2, I think.
3.
3. Okay, and I've got to discard a card because I hit a skull, courtesy of miss. There goes the mind over matter, but he is evaded. Pay 2 on working a hunch. Grab a clue.
Nailed it.
1 action remains. I'm going to draw Christopher to reveal the top card. So wither for 1 if I wanted it or had it. Could have been a premonition, which would have been quite good.
Mine?
Yours. Good luck getting that engine car, man.
Move. Pay 3.
Mike, unfortunately, we can't. We can only investigate through the resources.
Ta-da!
Oh, wait, we had immediately advanced. We probably flipped that and then advance immediately.
Engine car is connected to the location to the left of it. It has 4 clues on it and 4 shroud and victory 1. And then I'll read the act. Act 1A. If an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. Wings of Steam. The investigator entering the engine car reads the following out loud. A tender car filled with coal blocks your way to the engine cab. Swallowing your fear, you climb out of the nearby window and clamber onto the roof of the train, making your way across the tender car. The steady backward motion of the train makes it difficult for you to keep your footing. As you get close, a winged creature swoops down from above, its body composed of piping hot steam. You must decide. Test 3 foot to attempt to dodge the creature.
Yeah, right.
If you fail, you leap too far and barely grip the side of the train, hanging on for dear life. Although you manage to pull yourself up, the experience is terrifying. You suffer a mental trauma.
Fast people don't ride trains, man. Come on.
That's right. Or I can test 3 physical.
Oh, there it is.
To attempt to endure the creature's extreme heat. If you fail, the creature flies through you and the heat burns you. You suffer 1 physical trauma. Either of which would knock me out of the game.
Now, when you suffer trauma in this context, does it immediately add the 1 physical damage, or do you just mark it on the sheet and you know that you start with it next time? I'm going to guess that it actually would do 1 damage here.
So,
well, you know, you've got your odds.
Physical for 3, I'm ahead by 1, and nothing to commit.
Are you serious?
The trauma doesn't add damage.
Okay, good. Just marks on the sheet. Great, great. Okay, that's fine. Who cares about a little trauma? No one's worried about that. Okay, good. It's a 0. It doesn't matter anyway. Boom, 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 boom. Who's got fire? Zoe
we
doesn't
got
care.
fire.
She's
Something dragons.
She's in the boiler room.
Agenda 2A, get the engine running. You've managed to make it to the engine cab, but now you have to get the engine started again so you can outrun the pulling force of the gate. Objective, if there are no clues in the engine car, immediately advance.
Oh my gosh, that's it. Okay. How many actions do you have left?
That was it.
Okay.
So I hope I get your stargazing gift.
Or somebody does. So grappling horror readies, emergent monstrosity readies, we ready, you ready, everybody ready, everything ready.
But you can evade and move for free.
Yes.
And you have a fingerprint kit left, so that's 2. We got to find a way.
Everybody draws a card, gains a resource. Another wither. Wow, that's so funny that now they're showing up. Okay. Now we add 1 doom. and hope we don't see something that can make that advance, or we both just die.
Doom on. My bad card?
Yeah.
The stars are right. Oh my goodness.
That's
High
what
fives.
I'm talking about, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Remove the stars are right from the game. Choose an investigator. The investigator draws a card, gains a resource, and may take an immediate action as if it were their turn. This does not count against the number of actions. I think it's you.
Take an immediate evade, go to your location.
Yeah. Because I don't need the money either.
Love it. Love it.
So good.
All right, so I'll draw. You want me, yeah?
Yeah, so you draw a card, gain a resource.
Oh, Necronomicon's there. Gain a resource.
And you can immediately take an action like it was your turn. Does this go in the discard pile?
Yeah, remove from game. Yeah, it goes out. Okay, so then we miss, evade.
You have to do the test, right?
Right.
That would be sweet if not.
Come on, bag. Come on, bag.
It's a 0.
It's a 0. He's evaded.
And you get a move.
I get to move.
Talk about, we are in the engine room. We are
Dude,
ready to
we're
get this
going.
train a-going.
So I can fingerprint, discover.
Just don't
potentially get it
fail.
done. You can't fail. So I could.
Ties fail right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe worth me going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Because if you fail your fingerprint kit test, what's your math on it?
Well, I got to do my bad card first.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right.
At the end of my turn, test 3. If I fail, take a horror. Violent Commands is the name of that.
This is the turn. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? Okay, so let's look at the odds here. So I'm going to be 6-4. I can become a 7-4.
I have
Do you have books?
I have a 2 and a 1.
Okay, that's good. So you don't have any fancy get clue cards, right?
Not in our current predicament.
No, you have the.
I have one that can grab one when I would defeat an enemy.
Right.
But I can't defeat an enemy here.
Okay, so it looks like our best tests are going to be fingerprint kit for 5, 6. Between us, we've got 3 cards to contribute, right?
Mm-hmm.
So probably 5,
Probably
6,
the
7.
2. I have a 2. If you're going to hit anything.
Well, 7-4 gets us at 3 up. And then we'll have a 5 plus 2, 6-4 gets us 2 up. And then the final test will be 6-4, which is also 2 up. This would be 7, actually. So we'll do 7-4, 7-4, 6-4.
So I feel like my turn is get rid of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then draw a card to see if I can get another book.
That's reasonable.
In case that matters.
That's reasonable, yeah.
I guess it would have to be a double book, though, right?
Well, you could contribute to all 3 of my tests if you had a 3rd book card.
Yeah. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, at worst, too, here's the thing. Even if we don't win here,
we're dead.
That's not true. I would die, definitely. Is there a way for you not to die by doing something? Like playing Dr. Milan somehow?
If I could get 2 money, yeah.
I can't give you 2 money.
No, there's no. I think we just need to pass these tests. We need to pass 3 tests at probably a +3.
All right, so I think I'm going to go first.
Do you have any weaknesses that you could potentially draw that would be a problem?
Definitely. I mean, I don't know what they are.
Definitely have bad weaknesses.
You know. No. So the weaknesses I have are, I have an enemy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on my Arkham DB.
Does that engage you?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
That's
I still
fine,
contribute,
right? That's fine. And then what's the? Is there anything that would affect me? I guess is the question here. Is there any downtown? No, there's not even a downtown way for you to get a clue here.
Smite the Wicked. Smite would be bad. It would give me a -1 experience. No, it would give me a mental trauma.
I mean, we're about to get one of those anyway. That would be double bad, though. How many books are left that you could potentially draw into?
1.
So let's see, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7.
I have an Ever Vigilant hanging out, which is a 2.
You've got that in your hand, though. You got that. You started
No,
with it.
I have a different card that's a 2.
Oh.
Evidence is a 2.
Evidence is a 2. So let's see what's in your discard pile.
So really, the card I would want is Ever Vigilant. And then I have a couple other book cards.
Is that not the one you start with on Stick to the Plan?
Yep.
So that's out.
It's out. I don't think it's worth drawing.
So you've got a scene of the crime, an evidence, and a scene of the crime. So is evidence the only other card that's a book? And you've got it in hand currently? I don't think there's a way. What's in your Ever Vigilant stack? Dynamite.
Cash.
Cash. And that's you gain 3?
Mm-hmm.
I think the best we've got is we just got to hit a +2 test.
Now, what I could draw...
As we think about it more, we always find new ideas.
What I could draw...
Keep breaking the pipe for more good ideas.
Technically, is my other copy of Guard Dog, which would save me from dying, I think. Let's see if he's got 2.
So you're going to, he's got 1.
He's got 1.
Yeah.
So I would still lose to it, even with the Guard
Beat
Dog.
cops, there's nothing.
So I think I could get my other Enchanted Blade, which has an extra book.
Mm-hmm. And there's really no downside on your weaknesses.
The only downside is that Smite would give me a mental trauma forever.
But it does say, so people were saying that it goes to the farthest away location, right? And it would get blown up
Oh, nice, yeah.
before the game ends.
No harm. I can't do anything else. Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay.
Leroy Jenkins. I'll get rid of that. You can do whatever you
Okay,
want.
done.
With 2 actions, right?
Draw. What do you got? Flip
And
it
then-
face up. Let's see it. Nothing. Small favor. Dealing
All right,
damage.
Fine.
Okay.
We did it. All right. Let me
All right,
know when you
Norm.
want the call.
All right, Norm. Let's go.
To be fair, to be transparent, I could have also taken my Delve Too Deep bomb. If we hadn't seen the stargazing thing, I was going to consider it. It's good. We already have 2 experience, so I'm okay with this.
Okay, currently a 6 to 4.
This is the 2, right? No?
No, I don't think so. No. I think I'd rather, so any of these tests failing, we lose. So it doesn't really matter.
So you need maximum odds across the boat.
So I'd rather take 7, 7, 6
Okay.
than like
So
an 8,
our
6,
last
6.
one is our best chance, or our worst chance?
That's right.
Terrifying.
Okay. All right, first.
So what are we ahead by? 3?
+3, yeah. Agenda 3, yeah?
Yep, agenda 3.
Success.
Clue. 2 clues.
Second, investigate. Calling for a 2-book from Zach. 7. 7 to 4.
Oh my goodness, it was -2. All right, we get 1 away. We're so close.
All right, 1 away.
Oh my goodness.
1 away.
All right,
Nothing else you can do, huh?
that's all I got.
All right, Bag. If ever,
It's a 6.
we needed you.
Let's dump the bag out and see our odds real quick.
Okay.
I just want to see what we're dealing with here.
Okay.
Take a minute. All right, so these fail.
It's the same we've been looking at. Really.
These fail, right? What's
Mhm.
this?
That's a -2. Or -1, so that's good.
This.
The skulls now fail as well, though.
What's the skull do?
It's agenda equal to agenda. We're on agenda 3, yeah, so it's -3.
So it's a literally 66% chance of success.
Okay, 2 out of 3.
Cthulhu's number.
I'd take a 2 out of 3 chance, right? 66.66, yeah, exactly.
Now shuffle this up real good now. You know what? How would you feel about finishing this next week?
Let's cut, yeah.
To be continued.
I wish I could contribute this card so badly. I have to play it. I can't commit it to a skill test. Okay. To the bag of fate we go. Turn, turn, turn. Oh
it's
my
a superstar! It's a superstar!
Who's laughing now, Bag? Who's laughing now?
Ah, that's fantastic.
Ah.
That is fantastic. You ready to advance?
Yes, advance.
Forward motion. The engine roars to life and kicks into motion. You shovel coal into the engine's firebox and are relieved to see the train is moving forward along the tracks once again.
I'm going to use that ability just in case it matters.
Resolution 1.
Oh my gosh, man.
Woo!
That is unbelievable.
I can't believe I didn't die. I knew I was dead 3 turns ago. I was like, oh, this is bad. Oh my goodness.
There were so many. So just to give you some context. So Robert, Phil, and I, we play what I would call more casually, where it would have just been like, okay, well, you know, this looks bad, and we'll just keep plowing through. Like, it took us 10 minutes of thinking to get to the norm, go back, engage the enemy, miss, search for miss. That was really awesome.
That was like, that's what like, so when it
I
flipped,
can't believe it worked out.
I was doing the math and it was like,
Oh my gosh.
I was like, there's no way, I have no way of living. So like maybe Steven can finish this on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe that's it. And then you had the peril card. And then I literally stopped talking the moment I realized that you could come back and engage for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
I was
gotta
like,
figure it
I was
out,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to figure that out for him.
Yeah.
And then you were like looking, you were like, I don't know if there's a way. And then all of a sudden you were like, there is a way. And I was like, yes, there is a way. You should do this. And then I wasn't thinking past that point. And then you like the rook to get the mists, right? And then the ability, like, that's such crazy.
Getting rid of that 13th vision. Just all these things that are just there and it's hard to see them. Oh my gosh, that is one of the more intense. That might be one of the most intense moments I've ever had.
Your
in a
reaction
game.
to that, like pulling the superstar, was like
Why
very
the star?
real
Like
and
of
strong.
all the things that could have been pulled, it was the star.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Just nailed it. Oh
We prayed
my
over
word.
the bag, man. I'm telling
right.
you, it worked. We got stargazing, clutch stargazing, and
Dude,
then
really?
right.
That's because that stargazing, we
allowed
had no
3
extra actions.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
We couldn't have scripted this better. We could not have scripted this better. Oh my gosh.
Wow. People are wanting us to read the agenda. Are we talking about the back of this agenda? So if it advances?
Mm-hmm.
It's called It's Getting Faster. 2 of the train cars closest to the gate are severed from the rest of the train.
Oh my gosh, 3 sanity X.
Remove each of the 2 leftmost locations. Each investigator at those locations is defeated. Each enemy and asset at those locations is discard all clues controlled by the investigators.
Paul Sain is going to pour another glass of port to celebrate. That sounds lovely, actually. Lovely. Oh my gosh. I just got to take a second. I'm not going anywhere. I don't necessarily want to dive right into the book again yet, but
Yeah, we got to
that
read
was
the resolution.
probably the best Arkham that I've played.
That was crazy, especially for like the barrier to get to that point. So this is technically, we did the A and B in the second scenario. So this is the second pack of the cycle, right? So it was the core had the deluxe had the 2.
Then it was Miskatonic was the first, right?
Wasn't there one in there? Because it was 1A, 1B, right?
Yeah. So we did extracurricular, and then the house always wins. So we did the gambling and the school.
But wasn't there another one in the core set or in the deluxe?
And then we did, what was after that? Then we did an interlude, Armitage's Fate. And then we did Miskatonic. Yeah, so there were 2 in the House Always Wins and
Those are the
Those were the
deluxe.
2 in
Okay.
the Dunwich. And there was an interlude too, where we kind of sorted through some stuff we didn't play.
Got you. So then Miskatonic, then this. So we're
Then the
only,
train.
this is the 4th scenario, and you get to this moment.
Yeah.
It's a very cool design, and also, it's like, it wasn't very complex.
No, this
It
scenario
was very
crushes.
linear, but it's like,
This is a meat grinder, man. Like if you're going from Corset to Dunwich, you're going to get destroyed by this scenario. Like I've been playing for 3-4 years or however long it's been out, and only after like 15 minutes of actual thought did we find an out that possibly
And
by the skin of our teeth could work.
only with decks built with cards from across everywhere, and like, I mean,
Most of the time you just get spit out on this one. Now I think you may have hit about every enemy up front. there were 3 enemies left in the deck, and they were all of the Acolyte wizards.
And we've seen.
And look at the rest of this. It's all just encounter cards. So you happen to pull out the monstrosities, both of them.
There's like 6
and the
enemies
grappling
so far.
horrors. So that actually, that was a monster heavy run for sure.
Gary says, remember, you're also playing Return to, which is apparently much harder.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, let's have a beer. You want to have a beer?
Yeah, I'll have a beer. Let me go get some beers. And then we'll read the resolution over some beers. That's like one of the...
Oh man, that is an incredible moment.
This is next level experience, man.
What's
crazy?
What's this engineer supposed to do? Is that from an agenda? Does he come in from the agenda maybe? Why do I have an engineer? Do you guys know why? Is that like a... I wonder why that's in here. He's on the return. Oh, okay, I get you. So it was the engine car that we didn't pull that is from return. Cool. So you get an engineer friend. That's nice. And that's the cool thing. So on the return to, thank you. So check this out. There are, on the return, there are normally 3 engine cars that you're randomizing and 8 train cars. And you pick 6 of the 8 and then 1 of the 3. So even just switching the engine car out, you have 3 different what happens when you get to the end.
Scenarios, yeah.
And then when you add the return to, you add 2 more train cars and 1 more engine car. So now it's 1 out of 4 engine cars and 6 out of 10 train cars. So you build the train differently every single time.
And it's different. It could be the same ones, but in different order, and that would be a totally different game.
Because this guy comes in on the return to engine car, which we didn't see. So I have no idea what the engineer does.
Yeah, that's
like,
immense replayability.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
That's cool. Spanner said, you got the only engine car, I think, that you could have passed under the condition at the end. Something happening in this room when it comes to Arkham.
I feel like...
We're getting some love.
This is my question for everyone watching right now. Like, I feel like we've had some extremely notable scenarios throughout the course, and it could be that, like, you know, is that just always the case?
No, it's not. And here's what I would tell everybody at home. Having played this once before, probably years ago, we got wrecked on this, on standard. We got destroyed, killed. Just like, we fell off the train.
Rejected.
Yeah, and that's the case for a lot of the scenarios that we're doing well on. I remember, like in the past, I don't remember how any of it worked, but I remember like, oh yeah, we got wrecked on the train, we got wrecked in Paris, we got wrecked here, we got wrecked here. So I think if you're watching this and you're like, man, I'm doing way worse than these guys, I also usually am doing way worse than this.
Well, I feel like...
But we're also just paying so much attention to actually zooming in and playing it as technically proficiently as we can, which a lot of times is just kind of like,
we're playing ball.
Having some drinks.
I mean, we've failed a number of times. It's more the fact that, like, I feel like there were scenarios in pretty much every cycle that felt this awesome. Like, the scenario was great. It was close. It came down to a clutch. Like, I'm trying to think back, but I remember the finale of Carcosa was insane.
So close.
There were a couple Carcosa things that were just like, I can't believe we squirmed out of that one. There was the one where I was kiting someone and you went and dunked it at the very end.
Yeah.
I think that was Forgotten Age.
Aztec basketball, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, we got dominated at the Ithian stage of that, like I think most people do. And we've definitely had our losses. But, like, I feel like we have so many of these, like, no actions left, buzzer beater
just by the,
shots.
And there it goes. Phyllis Master bringing up a good point, and we also have chat, so we don't miss stuff, which is true. Although I think, again, I think the game would be easier without chat, because I would miss like half of the things that hurt me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, Paul, that does make sense. We've certainly played a lot of things in our lifetimes, but
well, and we're also playing a lot of games right now, so we're in like the zone every day.
You're sinking into Arkham too. Like,
definitely.
You're now an experienced Arkham player, I would say.
I definitely feel like the first cycle and a half or so 2, I was like kind of just doing my thing and asking a lot of questions, but now I actually am starting to see things.
So long story short, it looks like we're going to get 2 victory, 3 victory. So we can spend 1, and then we got to save 2 to go on the boat.
Next week, next Thursday, on Cthulhu Thursday.
We'll read it. But I will say, so the retool of this Norman deck is 1,000 times better. And that just goes to show you, I think I swapped like 4 or 5 cards. So the deck construction is so important. Like, you can change a little bit, and it's just like, I played Time Warp, I played Stargazing, and I played Miss. All
of them
3
critical.
Experience cards, critical cards for success.
How about that
there.
Stargazing? That's what I'm saying, though. Like, we've had those moments where it's just ridiculously good.
Well, but that's funny. Even if I had hit the next 2 encounter cards, I would have hit it, but I think it would have been less meaningful than when we hit it that time.
Yeah. Well, the thing I think that we also do, and this is just a game experience.
We did have City of Archives, Chris. That's true.
We got kadunked on that.
Someone left a YouTube comment. I won't say who it is. You can find it if you're looking for it. But basically, like, this was the most miserable gaming experience also that I've ever had. So we felt a little vindicated that it wasn't just us.
One thing I do think we do, and if you're watching, I think this is a player lesson, which is even here, right? Bad odds, good odds, play into your outs. We say that a lot in like tournament games, but like basically trying to imagine the scenario where this goes right for you, and even if it's bad odds, you have at some point.
It's better than 0 odds.
You got to take that chance. I know in competitive games, it's like if you get behind, sometimes you have to take risky plays to try to put yourself in the game. A lot of times that won't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But like in this case, it's like you took the extra action, you took the damage to get the stargazing, to maybe give us a little bit more action.
Yep.
And it gave you the extra action that round too, right? But it took you closer to death. And then it was like, we literally had no extra actions.
It was +2 actions, that series of plays.
You put a Doom on instead of doing something else.
Instead of drawing 2 encounter cards. So I would have hit the stargazing there, but like I don't know if I don't think we had cleared the clues yet. No, we hadn't cleared the clues yet. So I was here, and so if I had hit the stargazing there, I can go here, get a card and a resource. Then it's essentially, I think, the same plan, but I can't now get. Well, I could miss here, so it might have worked out about the same, but we don't know what the other 2 cards we would have drawn, if not because you would have had a card that wasn't stargazing, and then I would have had the next card, and who knows what those 2 cards would have done to us.
Who knows? Also, if you had been the first one to go in the engine card, you would have had to deal with that test that is either a book or a speed or a fight.
Which I can't do either.
You're horrible.
Yeah,
I was looking at that.
Good. That's so good.
Ben Sweeney saying, and I agree, quoting Michael Scott, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, quoting Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, Gary, Zach Claren's 13th Vision was clutch, and I didn't appreciate until I started streaming with you guys that, you know, another investigator at your location can deal with things in your threat area. I didn't know that. So that's revolutionary for me. That's really helpful.
Matt Resner, the stars literally aligned.
And just so thematic. It's Norm staring at. Are you kidding me? And then gets the last coal in the chamber to get out of there.
Swooshed it, man.
You can't tell stories like this if you write them on your own. All right, resolution 1, page 62. You breathe a sigh of relief. Say it. As the gate behind the train collapses harmlessly upon itself. The few passengers who survive the ordeal seem unable to comprehend what just happened. One passenger mentions a pipe bursting in the rear car, and that quickly becomes the explanation for the innocent and ignorant. Those who either cannot or choose not to delve further into the mystery. You, on the other hand, know better, although in hindsight, you wish you didn't. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory value of each card in the victory display.
3.
That's it.
And we each have to spend 2 to go to the scenario next week?
Yep. And then we proceed to blood.
So
on
we
the
have
altar.
1. I want to see.
And anybody that's confused about this, so next week, Thursday at 11 a.m., we're going to be streaming as a part of an Arkham convention that's taking the place of Gen Con. It's a virtual convention led by the Mythos Busters podcast, great podcast. We talked to those guys quite a bit throughout our Arkham journey at various conventions and whatnot. And they'll be hosting this, tons of Arkham content all week next week, starting Thursday through Sunday.
It's definitely a who's who of the Arkham community. It's amazing.
Yeah, and when you do, so we're going to do a side scenario that's designed partly by them. I believe, I forget the name and I shouldn't. Somebody out there knows. Who is it that helped design Murder at the Excelsior Hotel and also designed Consternation on the Constellation or what have you? I'll wait for chat to to correct me. But so that's a scenario that's designed, so we thought it'd be fun as a kind of a tribute to that group of folks to play that at their convention to kick it off. And when you play a side scenario, so you can inject standalone scenarios into your current campaign, but every scenario has a cost that it costs you to go do it, because you can earn items, weapons, experience by going to these side scenarios. So this one costs us 2 experience to go and actually play it next. So we're going to have to save 2 so we can do that. And that means if we earn 3 this scenario, we're going to have to spend 1 and then spend 2, or save 1 and then spend 2 on the side scenario itself. Nick Corey, yeah, thank you. So Nick had a lot to do with, and murder's great. And so I expect being on a big boat with fish people and stuff is going to be pretty cool.
It's a little preview for the Innsmouth.
Yeah.
Also, the next card on my deck was Smite the Wicked, which would have been in play when we won, which would have been a mental trauma if I had drawn that card.
Woo! That was great. Matt says, the timing was at a tense moment and then a celebratory moment, but I wanted to be sure you got a chance to mention that Flesh and Blood is back in stock on our website. Yes, that's true. We got free demo decks for that, so anyone watching this, Arkham players, if you want to get into kind of a little bit of a competitive space, it's super fun, then you can do that. It's a Flesh and Blood. It's a super cool little dueling card game.
Worth mentioning, the starter decks are free.
Starter decks are totally free, so you can check it out if that's a scenario you want to get into. Innsmouth. Okay, thank you, John. Dunwich. That's cool. I like it. Okay, so I've got the cards that I want to upgrade into, and none of them are going to cost 1. I've got, basically, I want to get into my Jewel of Aurolus. I don't want to say that the way I think it's said, because then it's a weird word. I want to get into emergency caches, and I want to get into water protection. So none of that's 1, so I'm just going to save 1.
Yeah, so technically, I have some actually interesting options here at 1. I could put in a copy of Mono a Mono. It's 1 experience Mono a Mono. It's a 0 cost, play as the first action, do a damage to an engaged enemy, which is
I love that card.
great. Also,
Can you imagine, like, you're just pulling together some bizarro ways of doing damage.
adding to the trend, Brother Xavier gets +1 mental, but then he can be assigned damage or horror dealt to other investigators at his location.
I would so put 1 copy of Brother Xavier in.
His reaction, because I have the calling in favors,
man.
but his reaction is when he's defeated, deal 2 damage to an enemy at your location. So there's just 2 free damage on his way out.
Let's not sleep on a 3/3 sponge also.
That's right. That does 2 on his way out.
That's incredible.
He takes a big hit. He does 2 back direct damage. Let's get this going.
You know, you do a couple of beat cops and then you swap it into a Brother Xavier. It's just like that. The value there is too good for me. I love it. I love that card.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get the things that aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, Brother Xavier does combo well with Survival Knife and Mono a Mono and Guard Dog.
You see the idea.
It's cool what you're doing, and it actually works. Like, you're churning through things without even
You
testing.
saw it, right?
Yeah,
I was just like nuking things left and right.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Now, so we're 4 out of 8.
No word rewatch. Yeah, thank you.
We're
Great
4
game.
out of 8 scenarios in, and we're at a 9th with the one we're
Yes.
doing next week.
Yeah.
At what point do I cut Delve Too Deep?
I'd probably cut it after. I'd probably cut it scenario
Like after 2 more?
5 of 8. So we'll probably do Consternation, and then we'll see. I think it's probably at the point where what's your worst card if it's not Delve Too Deep?
Well,
And you just kind of.
it's not going anywhere.
And what's funny is throughout the scenarios, right? There are cards that might actually be the worst card, but because they worked, you're like, I'm attached to that card now. Like Evidence is like, if I didn't have that last time, it wouldn't have worked. My plan wouldn't have worked. Should Zach be looking at Blood Eclipse? That's worth considering. Look that up on Arkham. I forget exactly how that card works, but. And we're not going to pull anything up because it covers, I think, my face or Zach's face. Somebody's face gets covered.
I'll just read it.
Yeah.
Guardian, 3 experience,
You
1
want me to put it
cost.
on your screen?
Oh, you can
I can do that.
3 experience, 1 cost, has a mental, physical, spell spirit. As additional cost to play it, take up to 3 damage. Fight, the attack. This attack uses
Yeah, you don't want that.
brain instead of fist. You get +1 brain, deal +1 damage.
Yeah, you don't need that. All right.
Yeah.
Don't need that one. Cool.
So
I do. You got a brother right here.
basically, obviously at some point Delve goes, but this lets me take a card. So if you get an enemy, I can take it for you, gain a money. I think it's worth it. This is a fast. If I defeat an enemy, I get a clue at the location.
It also happens to be the only way that you can maybe investigate something ever.
Yeah. Well, that and scene of the crime,
Mm-hmm.
technically, are the ways I get clues. So then basically I have an attack cancel, which if I'm taking a bunch of big enemies, I pay 1 to cancel like that 4 damage. That would have been
That would have been
draw.
helpful. Yeah.
When we're drawing encounter cards, I can basically grab the top 2, and then I can either take both of them or choose who gets which one.
Cut it.
And then there's also the look at the top 9 when I would draw one, and then I basically get to pick an enemy if I want.
You get to get an enemy. I would say that these On the Hunt and First Watch are your weakest cards.
Yeah.
Because like the reality is, it kind of gets back to this idea of you want to be good at doing things, which you're built very well to do things, but you're not necessarily still looking for those things to happen. Because like enemies are inherently not what you want, but if you do happen to draw one, you're particularly great at disposing of them. But you're dealing with encounter cards pretty well.
Yeah, because I have brains,
Mm-hmm.
and Brother Xavier helps. So I think I'm going to get rid of First Watch.
Yeah.
And upgrade into Brother Xavier.
Well, and
Boom. Done. I like having a couple 1 experience cards that I can upgrade into.
yeah, it's
For
nice
those-
to have them in the.
when you just have a little bit to do.
Dude, can you imagine this deck when you have 2 monos, the Brother Xavier, Beat Cops, Guard Dogs,
Dude.
Spectral Razor,
Mm-hmm. And then at some
Survival
point I'll have
Knife,
Agency backup.
Enchanted Blade. You're
Agency
like,
backup's the big play at the
Agency backup's the big dad, yeah. Yep.
end. Yep.
John Bosley asking here, is there a point where you stop upgrading because you've already upgraded everything you'd want, or do you gain less experience each scenario than core, so you're upgrading more gradually? So there's really not a world where you have too much experience that I've found.
I mean, I think the other thing is, and Steven helped me with this a lot, which is when we were deck building, he revealed a secret, which is you just build a deck that's got 30 to 40 experience in it up front, and that's what you're ultimately trying to get to. So then you build your initial deck, where you have a pathway to that, and then you start upgrading cards, but you kind of know where you're heading. And, we've been getting 3 to 6 experience a scenario. So if there's 8 scenarios, you're going to end up with probably like 30 to 40 experience. So as long as you have 40 experience planned out,
You'll never,
you'll,
because like
you'll never get there.
the most is probably Forgotten Age. I think it's really forthcoming with experience, and we got to 34 or 35 there, I think,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Now, is that helped along when you have like a 3 or 4 player game going? Do you see more locations? I don't know if it's easier or harder with that many players.
I mean, that's a really good question. Nobody really does. It scales pretty nicely across the board, and it depends on the classes and kind of the deck builds and whatnot. But I mean, technically, yes, you would probably see more locations if you had more people that could potentially branch out.
Yeah, but also like
they're
to
also
clear them
harder to
off.
clear.
They're harder to clear.
Yeah. But you also have tools that's where like deduction that gets 2 extra clues becomes more relevant.
Yeah.
Whereas in our games, it's like grabbing 3 rather than grabbing 2 is not really that significant because a lot of them are just 2.
Yeah.
So the deduction oftentimes is less good. So there are cards that scale well with multiple players, and there are cards that don't. It's just you got to figure it out. It's the beauty of it, man.
People saying, Spanish saying, there's really not a lot more XP in 4 players than there is in 1, 2, or 3. That's good balance if that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice to balance. I mean, this game is. We will look back. When we're talking about when we're like 50. Heaven forbid. But when we're like 50, we'll look back and think of Arkham, I think, as one of the greats in our lifetimes.
It definitely, I think, will be. I'm curious how basically the state of Arkham and how long they keep expanding it because no signs of stopping, obviously. But I definitely think it will be, because it came out in 2016.
It's nuts.
So like, it will be one of those games where it's like this kind of opened a door to I think cooperative card games, right?
It's probably the foundational cooperative card game. Probably the best cooperative card game that there is right now.
I think another game on that level that did a similar thing is like Legendary, that cooperative Marvel deck building. That was like the first notable cooperative card game at all. And it's not real. I mean, it's a deck builder.
Yeah.
So it's not quite a card game, but this is definitely the first game where you build your own deck, you bring your own deck to the table, and it's got the narrative RPG elements, and like it's just fantastic.
I mean, I guess all that to say, what you have to ask is this or Lord of the Rings the quintessential foundational?
Yeah, and I think Lord of the Rings was important.
Lord of the Rings is the origin point. I think Arkham is like the gold standard of what this genre can do.
Like I think for Arkham to, I'm curious to see if and or when a game does to this pocket of the hobby what Arkham did.
Like the next
next evolution, what that looks like.
It's a good question. I can't even, obviously.
It's hard to imagine. That's a normal.
If I can imagine it, I'd do it.
But this is fantastic, and I think it's an incredibly well-designed game and system that creates insane experiences, literally.
Yeah, that's like nothing I mean, that experience we just had is absolutely
super tops.
Mind-blowing.
Peak, as you would say.
Just peak experience, yeah. Absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll just stick with you guys since we got a little bit of time while we clean up, which is the most exciting part of Arkham, really.
Real.
Got these passenger cars, got these engine cars. I was going to ask everybody out there, I mean, do you guys think that Arkham is the gold standard, the perfection of the cooperative card game that will, 20 years from now, will we look back and say this was a golden age for these cooperative card games? Or maybe this was the one that really set the genre up?
I was going to say, was this the beginning of an era? I love seeing this. Matt Resner says, Legendary is part of why I'm here. It was the first game I jumped big into, which led directly to Marvel Champions, which is how I discovered you.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. And now how you discovered Arkham, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. 7, 8. It's amazing how that works, right?
Oh, yeah. That's why it's, you can talk, people can dog on games like Catan or Ticket to Ride all they want, but it's like those were instrumental in the foundation of what tabletop is today. Same with Magic, honestly, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all those games in the 90s. Andre, do you guys think Rise of the Red Skull campaign mode will borrow elements from Arkham, and if so, any ideas as to what? I mean, I think it'll definitely be the situation where things you're doing in a scenario affect the next scenario. And honestly, with the way Champions is set up, I don't know that it needs to go any deeper. Like in Arkham, your XP and deck building and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think it will.
I don't think Champions needs to do that.
And I honestly, I think people, and I've been guilty of this too, I think we'll bake too much into what that campaign experience is going to be. I think it'll be a light set of choices that will be fulfilling enough for a game like Marvel Champions. But it will not, I don't think, and I don't think it should, approach the level of campaign involvement and engagement that a game like Arkham has. Because it's just not that game. It can be, I think it'll be a fun campaign experience, but it won't be as in-depth as this. Not at all. Okay, I've got Return to, Return to, Return to. These are standard engine cars, standard train cars. There are 2 train cars missing currently.
Under here?
That I need, yep. There they are, thank you.
Those all have the black logo, all those cards?
That's what I need. Train car, engine car. Okay, train car. Boom, return to.
I like the random cultists on the train. They're what summoned it. They were chasing us.
Yes, it's always the cultists.
They knew we saw something.
That? It's always the cultists. I need Agenda 0A too. Did that end up somewhere? Did I miss that? No. It's probably in a stack somewhere. All right. Jeffrey Smith, that's reasonable. Netrunner, Arkham, than everything else.
All right. 0A.
John Bossy saying, I play Marvel Champions with my wife, and I play Arkham solo. The feeling of being a hero versus being helpless between the two just through game design was spot on. That's pretty cool.
Found 0A. It's got this on the other side.
Yep, there you go.
Where does it go?
Put it right here on this stack. Benjamin Cho saying, pulling the Chaos Bag feels better than rolling a dice. That's 100% true. The Chaos Bag is a critical piece, and it allows you to manipulate the odds of success throughout an entire campaign. Genius. Can't do that with a die.
Well, and I think that's a really good example of like...
In the symbols, you can make different effects.
Yeah, physically bringing you into the theme, right?
Yeah.
Reaching into a Chaos Bag, there's something about it that just feels right.
Yeah.
It could have easily been a die.
Here's the thing, though. You know what the difference is? Is that you feel like when you pull from that Chaos Bag that you have an element of choice in the matter. When you roll a die, it's like, okay, it's random. But it's like, I could choose any of these tokens, and I'm responsible for the fact that it was a tentacle.
You're also reaching into, like, nothingness, right? And pulling out your result.
Yeah.
Versus, like, rolling it on the table and you can see it the whole time.
It's a lot more stressful.
It's also, like, pulling the bag and having a symbol that is revealed is, like, more abstract in a good way versus the literal act of rolling a die.
Just a number.
As a die. It makes it math.
And it's just forward-thinking design, right? So you can attach anything you want to those symbols to make a scenario function a certain way.
Yeah.
It's absolutely smart. I mean, it's super smart. Dan asking, why did I cut my hair? Just because I didn't want to go anywhere because of COVID, so I just shaved it. It was getting too long and reckless for me to feel like I was a contributing member of normal society. I didn't want to go the way of Zach, so...
You gotta choose. That middle stage is bad.
The middle stage is bad.
Watch any video from mid last year.
2 long-haired men on this stream, I think, is a little too much. It's not what anybody wants.
Combined, we have a roughly normal amount of hair.
Yeah, I kind of like to have that yin-yang element, right? Zach's always wearing the black shirts with the long hair. I've got short with insane shirts, generally. Blonde versus
brunette,
white, dark. I mean, we've got it's like a whole thing going on here.
Intentional.
Not at all intentional.
When we first started, it was like, hey, we'd be good on video together.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding.
Hey, man.
Honestly, when we first started, I was extremely shy and never would have ever thought I would be on video often, speaking to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think both of us are actually pretty introverted people.
That's why we're on camera instead of actually with a bunch of people right now.
I can just play the game pretty well. It's just exhausting. Tresmillion saying, I think the one thing holding Arkham back is the theme. I agree. He said, I know it kept me away until I saw your first isolation week. That's why being exposed to the game is so important. You see it on the shelf, you're like, that's not for me. But once you actually see what's going on with the game, it's way, way good.
I will say this. The amount of money I would pay were I Fantasy Flight Games to get the Stranger Things license. Just make a core set that goes through the first season of the game.
Yeah.
Just literally to introduce the number of people you could introduce to this style of game. That one product is, I just look at it, the whole thing is marketing expense, right? Pay whatever you gotta do to get the license, make the core set, put it in Target and Barnes & Noble and Walmart and anywhere else that'll carry it, and like, watch what happens to tabletop games.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you could, if you really want to go down that road, if you really want to think about, let's invest, like, really invest in this. Now, again, we talked about this on the podcast. Is there enough money to be made in a game like this to invest this much into marketing? But you get that D&D crossover, and you play a barbarian, I play a wizard, and play a thief over there. The classes are already built for it. You have a one-shot kind of like 3 scenario, go kill the dragon thing, and you work on the Arkham mechanics, right? You move from location to location, you have an axe out, etc. You do the same thing, right? And then it's like, if you want more of this, here's the main game, Arkham Horror. But at a certain point, it's just like X-Wing with Attack Wing. You could license this idea out to so many different properties.
Yeah.
And then once you know the system, I can go jump into that one and that one and that one and that one.
Bounce around.
But do you lose a lot of your audience to other publishers at that point? So that's a good question.
That is a good question.
These are all good questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something about pulling the token, Zach saying, something about pulling the token, holding it in your hand that makes brief pause before you look, makes it much more dramatic than a die roll. 100%.
I agree. Plus, you can't roll it off the table often.
Kenneth Young on Facebook saying, I used to play the Cthulhu role-playing game when I was in high school and college, and this is so much like playing that RPG. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly thought forever because I didn't really like horror movies, and then I realized I just hadn't seen good horror movies. My friend Matt showed me good ones, but
What did he show you?
uh,
What was the one that really turned you?
well, the things that started turning me actually were, first of all, horror movies are actually just very campy, hilarious. Most horror movies that you watch are actually surprisingly campy and not scary.
Yeah, like
But
that's the Night of the Living Dead. What is the Bruce Campbell zombies? I'm so sorry, I can't remember this. Somebody's gonna type it in the chat in a second. Hold on. What is it called? You've seen the posters even.
I'm not good at this.
Evil Dead. Thank you. Evil Dead,
I did see Cabin in the Woods.
as an example. So it's in
so
the same format as
The
that.
thing is, like, a lot of the classic horror movies are older now, so the effects really are hilarious, and it is campy.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
So it's actually kind of funny. They started doing this Sunday night, like it was like D-list horror movie night.
Nice. I mean, that's some of the great stuff. That's what my dad loves too.
Yeah, and so like that's just really funny. But the things that actually turned me onto the genre were True Detective and Stranger Things.
Nice.
So I watched True Detective, and it was like,
That's a
this is just
masterpiece.
creepy enough. I get it.
Yeah.
And then I watched Stranger Things, and then I'm playing Arkham, and it's like, oh, this is a little more on the nose. There's a little more direct horror stuff going
Yeah,
on.
like big tentacly things.
But like most horror movies, it's the suspense of not knowing. That's the real tension. It's not the like big giant monster scary jump scares. Jump scares is what I don't like.
the good ones are mood. It's all mood and setting. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
And like, what was that really creepy one? It
There's
was
a lot of
like
them.
5 years ago.
The Ring.
No, you just like see it, and it's like the like sheet on the bed moving.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I definitely watched that one.
Give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, so that kind of stuff is terrifying. I actually choose not to watch things that I think will be really scary, because early on I watched Blair Witch Project when I was very much involved in camping and backpacking and all of that.
Oh, that's actually terrifying.
And I was like, I don't want this in my head.
I don't need the
I want it in
idea
my
of
head.
this being possible in my head.
Yeah, I don't
So
want.
the thing that turned me off of horror movies initially was actually I saw Child's Play.
Is that with the Chucky?
Yeah, way too
doll
young.
and all that?
Like way too young. It was just like on. I think my cousin Dustin was watching it, and I was
Classic.
like young.
Yeah.
And then everything from then on, I was afraid to go in the laundry room because there were some
Classic.
terrible things there. But in my adult life, also the modern. I've seen the classic and now modern version of It. That was
that's a clown one,
exceptionally
right?
well done. Yes,
Yeah.
exceptionally well done. And then we saw a bunch of Stephen King stuff, and Stephen King stuff actually reminds me like of campy Arkham, like Pet Cemetery, and what is the name? It's the guy in it. It's like a long docuseries, like 10 hours, and it's like the guy's like MOON. That's how I spell anything. Like he doesn't know how to spell. It's hilarious.
That's a Stephen King thing?
Yeah, it's got the Man in Black. The Tower maybe is what it's called.
That Tower sounds right. That sounds right.
But there's a long series. I watched a bunch of Stephen King actually. The Stand. It's called The Stand.
Nice.
But it's got the Man in Black in it. The Tower also
Zach's
has the Man
got
in
it,
Black in
yeah. It's like, look down.
it. And so there was just a bunch of those kind of movies. And that really opened me up where it's like, okay, I actually get this now.
Yeah.
Forever I was just like, it's kind of weird that you're into being scared. I don't get it.
Once you can pull the veil back a little bit and kind of, know when you might want to suspend your disbelief and when you might want to be like, this is not real and they're just having a good time and those kinds of things, it helps to manage, right? Like, I don't really want to feel super scared, so I'm just going to make fun of this.
John Bosley says The Stand is King's best book.
Oh, good. That makes sense.
Yeah, the show, it's like a 4-part, hour-and-a-half long each series. And it was shot in, it seems like it was, from my memory, it looks like an 80s or 90s shot thing.
Yep.
So it's not awful, but it's also like, obviously not, I think if you did it modern, they're supposed to be doing it modern. But Stephen King's also got that campy vibe. Like,
there's a little bit of that going on for certain. For certain. Did you know that there was the first direct to...
just see where it goes behind the little slit.
Oh, I've already got it.
Yeah.
The first direct to VHS, which was a thing that started, was a Tulsa movie. One of the originals called Blood Cult. Back when the VHS tapes, my dad actually taught a class on it at OSU Tulsa. And he was he was around because he was the horror movie critic at the Tulsa World.
Yeah.
and he loved all of the guys making movies, right? He loves the idea of like creators, especially ones that like just, aren't going to be famous and popular, just doing what they love,
Making
like
art.
we do. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's just like people making games because they love it, not because they're going to be commercially successful. It's the same way.
And then you love seeing someone that makes a game because they love it also be commercially successful. That's the best thing.
Yeah. So there's a movie called Blood Called, and it's similar. It's just like gratuitous violence, and that kind of thing. Came out of that kind of genre of movies that were really all about just exploitation, basically. But it's cool. Like, I didn't know that, and there's an entire world that is interested in that topic. And it's like, oh, I didn't know. There's all these movies that people have made that are totally foreign to me.
The Circle Cinema here in Tulsa.
Love Circle, yeah.
They have a thing. I forget. I get invited to it about once a year from Matt. But it's this overnight marathon of horror movies.
Yeah.
And I've gone a couple times, and I only make it to like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I just leave because I'm going to pass out. But there's kind of a culture around it. It's really interesting. It's almost like cult classic, literally. It's like this community of people that like this stuff, and like it was cool. I was surprised how much there was there and how many people were just like all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Have you done the Rocky Horror thing? I
I've
haven't done it yet. I haven't done it in the theater with everybody like engaged.
I haven't done it in the theater, but I have seen it.
That would be fun. We need to do that. What is this? Why is this sleeve here?
Jared says, let's make this a Zach and Steven react to horror trailers bit to the end of the stream.
Oh, man, right? All right, I think we've done it.
We're not very reactive.
No.
We show some when we're playing, but like...
Yeah, when you draw that superstar, I'm pretty reactive.
But that's like the range of our emotions,
Yeah.
Some people do the whole, like, they film them reacting to things.
Yeah.
I don't think I could pull that off. Like, I don't have enough... it would be so forced. Like...
You don't get this far in the business by being reactive, let me tell you.
When I'm seeing like a trailer for a movie I'm really excited about, I think I normally like, even like the best trailer I've ever seen, I'm probably like this.
Huh. Nice.
All right. And then I'm like, type.
That was great. Yeah, so we're going to get out of here. You guys, check out that new Taylor Swift album. It's super good. Seriously.
That's something I'll react to.
I bought it this morning. It's $9 to buy the MP3s. Buy your music too. I don't know. I don't know why I care so much about
Check this out.
I'm so tired of these streaming services.
I bought vinyl, the vinyl.
Good for you.
I do that with albums I know I'm gonna love and or really want to have on vinyl. But it came with the digital download. Like you get it if you buy the vinyl, they'll give you the download.
Yeah, great. I'm gonna grab this, Zach. I'm gonna do a little teaser here.
Uh-oh. We're breaking all the rules here in isolation. We used to be so concerned about showing any prototypes or products before they were done. We just don't care anymore. We're here.
rules.
You're our friends. Uh-oh. Hold on. Uh-oh.
This is something we're working on here right now.
I like you switched to my screen.
This is essentially the Circle Undone inspired, the tarot style board.
It's very, it's a beautiful color.
I kept telling John, I was like, I had no idea that I would like this one the most, but somehow I do. I think this is the best one that we've done. It's got the silver green as the spectral kind of theme, spectral mist kind of thing, and it absolutely kicks. I mean, I'm so amped for it. So we'll keep working on this. We'll get it out when we can. We're planning to catch up on all of the different cycles, and once we do, well, then after that, we'll see.
Who knows what's next?
Who knows what? We're definitely working on those connectors too. We need to get those connectors
There's
out.
a lot of things we need to do. There's a long list of products. Now that I'm in, now it went from we need to make this to we really need to make this.
Zach wants these boards now. All right, I'm over here. I've got the controls.
Yeah, people
Zach.
saying it looks next to the Carcosa. Look at this. You can see what we're going for here.
Yeah, some people like
get the
silver,
idea.
some people gold, copper, etc.
Chris, take me money.
We'll take it, Chris.
Soon. We'll have it as soon as we can. All right, hey. It's been an absolute privilege. Chat, you're the best. You make our lives better and harder at Arkham particularly, and we appreciate it sincerely. To everyone that's been signing up for content memberships, sign up for Arkham subscriptions, buying our Mythos products. It means the world to us and really does allow us to be here. So we appreciate that. Gratitude from the entire team. Have a great weekend. We'll be back next Thursday, not Friday, for Arkham. And be safe out there. And we'll catch you guys next week.